Alright, welcome everyone to the Husbando tier list. It is that time of the year. Last month I did the waifu one, and now we got the dudes. Now I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm not gonna rate them the same way. Most of these I don't really have any sexual interest in, so I'm mostly just gonna be rating them based on how much I like them as like characters, etc. So, yeah, obviously, as biased as it gets, this is completely my opinion. So don't get too offended if your favorite is on like E tier or something. It doesn't matter. All of this is completely irrelevant to your own enjoyment of the game. It's just how I see things. And, I have pretty questionable tastes, so, there's that too, I suppose. Yeah, I believe we have 163 dudes in the thing. So I think it's less than the waifu one. I forgot how many there was, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is gonna be shorter than the waifu one anyway, because I don't really have too much to say about most of these entries. I feel like, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again, there's some NPCs as well that I'm somewhat familiar with myself. I excluded some that were also in here, ones that I don't really know much about yet, because obviously they're also unplayable, so it doesn't really help. So yeah, but you can easily spot some unplayables even on this one, so there you go. And the order will be alphabetical. And if someone is missing, I apologize. I think there were some missing in the waifu tier list as well, but yeah, here's hoping everyone was included. Okay, okay, I think with that we should be good to go. This is probably gonna be pretty rapid. I'm still probably gonna include timestamps. I always like to make the extra effort of, spending like an hour writing them. So, if you're watching this later on YouTube and not live, yeah, you can check the description to hopefully see some timestamps. But again, it's alphabetical, so it's kind of easy to, go through it anyway, I suppose. Okay, let's start. We got Achilles first. He's an interesting case. I definitely have seen him a lot, obviously from APOC already, and then also in various FGO stories, including the APOC event where he was introduced, and then later on in Atlantis mostly as well, and I think some interludes too. He's a pretty cool guy. I think I've kind of warmed up to him, for sure. And again, as a reminder, again, this list has nothing to do with gameplay, so just to put that out there. It should be obvious, but yeah, this is nothing to do with gameplay sides. I think Achilles for me, I think he's I'm gonna maybe start with a B plus. I do like him. I think he's a good guy. He's definitely on the positive side for me when it comes to the dudes. He's nice. We might again shift things around when I get more comparison or something, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Akeisha, thanks for the gifted sub to Jackie, much appreciated. He was super cool at Atlantis. Yeah, he was. I guess the next one we got Akechi Mitsuhide from, I believe, Gouda 3, right? I wish he got a bit more, honestly. Because I think he could make for a playable servant as well. But as is, in FGO, his portrayal, maybe not the best. Kind of a, evil for the sake of evil and not much to go on with. I still think he has some potential if they ever decide to, add him again in some way. And maybe hopefully as a playable servant. But as is, not much to go on with. I'm gonna place him in like C because I'm kind of still a Gouda simp. Gouda simp. It's still below average, but I don't think he's as bad as people might think. I think he's alright. There's much worse NPCs out there in terms of how much I like them. Then we got the Shota Iskandar, aka Alexander. Gotta be honest, not a huge fan of him. I definitely prefer the Iskandar version of him. Little Alex. And he honestly hasn't even had that many great story moments either. He was mostly in the older story stuff. I think he was also in the Solomon movie briefly. I think that was maybe his best moment. But besides that, yeah, I don't really like this guy too much. I think I'm gonna put him in D plus. He still Iskandar, obviously, just as a very young version, but doesn't really do it for me, to be honest. Yeah, if this was the tier list of Takahashi Rie, he would be like the fastest EX known to man. Alright, then we got Mr. Amakusa. My opinion about him has, changed a lot over the years. I used to kind of hate him. Now I kind of like him, honestly. I think he's pretty interesting. He makes for, you can't really tell if he's actually good or bad. I think his intentions are definitely good, but, I kind of like that he's not, completely black and white, well, contrary to his design. It's kind of like that, but, no pun intended there. I do like Mr. APOC Priest. I think I'm gonna place him in B. I'm gonna place him in above average. I do like him, actually. He's a fun guy. And his costume in the game is also one of my favorite costumes ever. I think it's a really cool one, the Phantom Thief one. I think we'll get it next year in an A, which is cool. Alright, we got Angra Mainyu next. Now, if this was a gameplay tier list, it would be easy EX, or not EX, well, yeah, E and move on. But this is a character list. This is a husbando list. And as someone who has read Holo Ataraxia, I do really like this guy. I think he's pretty fantastic. He's a very interesting case. That's for sure. And I think he has a great dynamic with Bazette as well. Even with Karen, but yeah, Bazette mostly. Do like this guy. Again, I'm not gonna go into spoilers or anything about, HA's story, but yeah, I like this guy. I'm gonna place him in A tier. I think he's really cool. This is like the highest I've ever placed Angra Mainyu in any kind of tier list, I think. I like him though. And again, if you haven't read HA, it's definitely worth reading and probably will give you, a newfound appreciation for the guy as well. Hopefully. If not, then rip, I guess. And then we got Arash on the A's. Oh, baby. Yeah, I think most people, both gameplay-wise and husbando-wise, kind of like him, right? Yeah, he's a pretty popular guy. Contrary to his one-star, rarity. He's definitely up there when it comes to popularity. And I very much like him too. I think his big moment in Camelot was one of the most memorable things in all of FGO stories, for a good reason. And yeah, I like the new updated MP animation as well. Really does the chant a bit more justice than the old one, which was pretty ugly. And I kind of like Tsuruoka Satoshi, his VA. Pretty good performance on the character. I'm gonna place him in A tier as well. Also another A tier male husbando in the game. Old one was faster though, wow. Spot the min-maxer, okay. Okay, now here's where things get a bit spicy, huh? We got Arjunas, and we got Arjuna Alter, namely, first. Oh man, I can already see angry people, oh no. Here's the thing. I think he's one of the weakest Lost Belt Kings we've had. He was boring. He was very, very boring to me. He had no personality whatsoever. The only time he ever showed emotion was when he was fighting Karna, and even that was a brief exchange. Besides that, he was just like, oh, I'm just sleeping. Oh, dude, I'm just doing my godly things. Oh, I'm so powerful. Oh, I have a more billion gods inside me. Oh, I'm so good. Oh, I don't care. Oh, it's like, he's boring as dicks, dude. I do like his design, though. At least this one with the long white hair, I think is pretty cool for what it's worth. So it's not, I don't hate the guy or anything like that. I just think he's a bit boring and, dare I say, overrated as a husbando. Again, I know how many people love him, so I'm definitely farming dislikes over here. And people tuning off from the stream already at the start, but I'm just being honest with myself. Yeah, and Ari sees this later, I'm dead. But you know what? Rest in pieces. I think Arjuna Alter to me is average. He's average. He's just average. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I think he's kind of mid. He's literally mid. The costume is okay, but I don't love the costume either. Now, honestly, I kind of like OG Arjuna a bit more. He actually has a bit more of a character going on, even though we don't see him too much anyway. But even then, I think I kind of prefer him, so I would place Arjuna in B, honestly. I would place him, I'm actually placing OG over the Alter one, just barely. I still like when it comes to Arjuna and Karna. I think Karna is like so much better. I love Karna way more, but Arjuna ain't bad either. He's not bad. He's definitely okay. Now, more A's, we got Arthur. Unlike the waifu list where we had like a more billion Arturias, you know, back to back to back, etc. We just have this guy. We have Arthur. I think his spotlight is kind of yet to come. They introduced him into the game very, very early on, and he really hasn't done too much yet. I think he still will have a role to play. And if he already has, don't spoil me, please. But yeah, besides that, I think I do like him, though. Even at the end of the day, I still think his MP is one of the cooler ones in the game, despite not being like overly flashy anymore in 2022. I really like the chant, etc., unlocking the seals of the Excalibur. And yeah, I think he's a cool guy. I think I do prefer OG Arturia more, though, because I've read more stories with her version in it. But I don't think Arthur is bad. I'm gonna place him in B tier for now. But I'm hopeful that in the future, this is gonna change when he gets like a bit better spotlight and makes me appreciate him way more. No, Jax. In this case, I did not mean Dolgens. Surprisingly, I don't actually read Arturia Dolgens. They're always vanilla and boring. All right, we got Asclepius next, still on the A's. Mr. Docta. Any Arknights players? I'm not, but you know, I know they love that word because of obvious reasons, I guess. Yeah, he's cool. He's pretty cool. I thought he was alright in LB4. He was kind of a villain and then he was kind of a good guy, and I was like, okay, I approve this. He just wants to do like medical experiments. He wants to see how far he can push, you know, the boundaries of medicine. And I kind of like that. I think he will also go into B tier for me. Above average. Cool doctor guy. Very calm and collected. Asterios, Mr. Minotaur. I think he is absolutely shafted in this game. It makes no flippin' sense that, first of all, he doesn't have divinity, and second of all, why the fuck is he a 1-star? Why is the Greek Minotaur a 1-star? It never ever made sense to me. We need an SSR version of Asterios like it was 5 years ago. It still to this day doesn't make any sense to me. But besides my gripe of him getting shafted in this game, I think he's kind of a cutesy little character at least, and I do find the Uriel x Asterios ship kinda cute. It's definitely an okay ship, I don't mind. But I think he's kind of missing out because of how much they shafted, and to be honest, he doesn't even get many big moments in stories either. He appears here and there, but never in like a super memorable way. I think he's just average. Sad to say. I hope they would do Minotaur Asterios a bit more justice. But at this point, I've kind of lost hope because he's a day 1 servant, and we're already over 7 years into the game, so don't have a lot of hope anymore. Well, I guess we have Stolfs in this list as well. I think some people were mad because Stolf was in the waifu list, especially when I placed Stolf so high over a lot of the other popular waifus. But even in this list, it's an easy EX tier, okay? Come on, man. Come on. Easy start. It's just that it doesn't matter whether it's the waifu list or the husbando list. It's all the same, dude. Stolf is always EX, okay? And this is one of the rare exceptions in this list. Remember when I said I don't see most of these characters in a sexual way? Scratch that with Stolf. Smash, 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 okay? Absolutely. Never passing on the Stolf, okay? So yes, in that sense, lovely. Just toppity tippers. Full homo. Alright, I forgot how many A's there are, because we're still in there. We got Mr. Hot Wheels next, aka Asvatthaman. Definitely can't pronounce his name, but an attempt was made. So more Lost Belt 4 servants. I just realized how many Lost Belt 4 servants start with the letter A. I think he was kind of cool, honestly. I didn't really know much about him based on the JP gameplay experience, but after I read LB4 and NA, I kind of started liking him more. I think his role in the story was nice. Definitely a more of a memorable character when it comes to the LB forecast. I think he was like a better, I don't know, he's not really an antagonist, but kinda. I think he was a better antagonist than Arjuna Alter was for me. And I would rate him, I'm gonna rate him a B plus actually. I think he's cool. Bonus points for the Christmas appearance as well, I suppose, where he had a write-up as well, but mostly because of LB4 here. And I kind of like the armor design of Ascension 2 as well. I kind of have a soft spot for stuff like that. You'll see it later in this tier list as well. So it's like a cool little bonus Ascension. And I like his MP. I like the chakra spinning, the wind-up, then he just yeets it. Has some good energy. Alright. Then we got, right, the last of the A's, but definitely not the least. We got Avicebron, between him and Stolf. Probably my favorite characters from APOC. A lot of people don't really like him, and I can understand why. It's not like he was super memorable or anything like that, but I don't know, I've always just liked him ever since I saw him for the first time. And I have a grilled one in JP as well, so, you know. That should say something, I suppose. I'm rating him in A tier. Again, I think most people would disagree, but I think he's a very awesome guy. I like the golem magecraft he has going. It's kind of unique compared to a lot of other servants as well. I really like his voice. It's smooth and crisp. And he's just a fun guy around. Do like this man. Okay, now we're finally moving on to B's, I suppose. It's Babbage time, and this is a cool timing because this is now after I have read 5.5, which definitely boosted his points. I was always like kind of okay with Babbage. I never hated him, but I think 5.5 made me like him even more again. It was cool. Again, no spoilers, but you know, not that his role was that big to begin with, but I think the moments we had with him, he said some cool stuff that kind of, you know, touched my kokoro to, you know, be all Osaka Behime over here. He kandoed me, for those Japanese speakers out there. Kando shita. Anyway, Babbage. B plus after 5.5. Honestly. Maybe recency bias, but so be it. I mean, the whole point of the list is to be as biased as possible anyway. So he's nice. Do love this mathematician. The granddaddy of computers as well, I suppose. Hope he gets an animation update. Same, dude. We need an actual version, like a reality marble looking version of his MP, because that's what it's supposed to be. Like, make it like Emiya Unlimited Blade Works, but instead of blades, you got like a bunch of steam, and then kind of Iskandar style, where instead of like his soldiers, he would summon like a bunch of those helter-skelter robots to attack. Like, come on, man. Come on. It would be so awesome, like a really steamy reality marble. I don't know, Taryn, I don't know. Alright, next up is Mr. Bangs, aka Bartholomew, huh?
Jason X or unsub.
We'll see when that happens. Hey, I woke up for the 25. Welcome back to the Go Gang. Yeah, Bart, not much to go on with, I suppose. I don't think he really has that big of a story presence ever. He's just like, you know, another pirate they added. He has a personality for sure, but is it something I really like? Not really. I think he's more of those that, you know, might interest some ladies a bit more. I just don't really like him much, honestly. I don't hate him, but I think he's kind of mid. I'm gonna place him in D+, maybe a bit harsh. Maybe a bit. He was okay in Atlantis, but I don't know. Maybe because C, okay, still up below average, but I don't really like Bart too much. Just okay. But I ranked them out like this in Smash. Okay, well, in 99% of the cases, this smashing is irrelevant because I'm not gonna do it. But in some cases, yeah, if it's possible, or if I wanna, you know, see it like that, then yeah, points. But most of these I'm rating based on how much I like them, basically, like non-sexually, if that makes sense. Okay, dude. I mean, Yeah, sure, Poco, but you know, he's still credited as he has that title as well, basically. So I don't know, whatever. You should probably turn off TTS for that. Nah, it's fine. This is not like a serious gameplay tier list anyway. I even left the alerts on. It's fine, dude. It's fine. It was just for the intro there where I didn't want to, get interrupted. Now it doesn't matter. This is all going to be unedited raw in YouTube later as well, so who cares? If you're really upset about the alerts at TTS, I'm sorry, but yeah. I'll turn them off again when we do like serious gameplay tier lists or whatever. Alright, Bedivere time. Betty. Yeah, I've always liked Betty after Camelot. Pretty simple as that. I never watched the movies though, because I didn't hear good things. But that doesn't mean I don't like Betty, because I definitely do. I'm still good with playing the story in the game itself. I'm still gonna put him in A though. I understand if some people will put him higher. I do. But to be, he's just a very solid one. He's not like top tier, but he is really solid. Do like that. Do like the bad. Do like what he did to Arturia and everything. He's not if the story was like badly written, he would just be like a plot device for Arturia, but they actually made him a significant character on his own. So I like that. I very much like that. Is anyone going to be A+? Probably, yeah. There's a lot of entries, so if no one's A+, I'd be really surprised. Alright, we got the Benkei next. Now, this is one of those cases where I think I will rate him higher than most people would. I've always liked Benkei, I don't know. Even though he is basically a faker, in case you didn't know at this point, it's pretty obvious he's not the real Benkei. But I like the guy. I like the thing he has going on with Ushi as well. They have like a cute relationship, not of that kind, but like friend relationship. He's a cool little guy. The guardian of the bridge, etc. Even though, yeah, again, he's not the real Benkei. If we had a real Benkei, he would definitely be an SSR, because this is a Japanese game, but this guy is just a faker, and he's a kind of a lovable faker, I would say. I think Benkei, to me, I'm gonna place him in B+, because that's probably way higher than most people would ever place him. But I like him, especially in Babylonia, especially in the anime of Babylonia. Very, very cool stuff. Do like this man. And I know most people will disagree with this placement being quite high, but yeah. I like the Benkei, the faker Benkei we have. Okay, Beowulf. Mr. Ora, huh? Well, again, he hasn't really had that big story moments or anything. If anything, I think was his biggest moment in like Last Belt 1. Unless I'm forgetting something else. But he was kind of cool there. He and Billy, yeah, they were kind of like reinforcements. Nothing like major, but yeah, I do remember them, obviously. But is he like that memorable or likable to be? Kind of in somewhere in the middle, honestly. His voice is also cool, but not among my favorites. I'm gonna place Beo in the average tier. Just gonna leave him there. I don't hate him. I don't love him. But, Ora-Oras are still kind of cool, I suppose. Yeah, they should give him a bit of a more main focus somewhere. Maybe an event or something, but as is. Not too much to go on with. Alright, then is this the first NPC? I think it is. Okay, we got Beryl. Now, this is coming from someone that has not read LB6 yet, but I still have obviously seen him in many ways, and yeah, he's basically a very dick guy. He's a dick. He's kind of a hateable guy. But is he a hateable guy in the good sort of way? Because some of these entries in this list will be like that. You can already guess some of them, honestly, if you know my tastes. But in the case of Beryl, I don't know. I don't really feel it. I feel like he's kinda not like a lovable, hateable guy. I think he's more like hateable for the, every sense of the word. I'm placing him in D tier. But again, this could change after I read LB6, because I'm pretty sure he has a big role there. Again, no spoilers, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I just don't like Beryl. I think he might be my least favorite of all the cryptors as well, honestly. Yeah, he definitely is. He's just like, whatever. Miss me with Beryl. Okay. Anyway, speaking of Billy, just earlier, yeah, he's here right now because, you know, Billy the Kid. I guess he had a bit more focus than Beowulf. Wait, wasn't Beowulf also in the American Singularity, kind of? I guess they are kind of like, unless maybe he wasn't, but yeah, because I know Billy obviously at least was, because that was his introduction. So they kind of come in hand if that's the case, I suppose. Now that I think about it, I think I might prefer Beowulf slightly than Billy. I don't hate Billy either though, but he's kind of he's like a cool gunman, but you know, besides that, pew pew. I'm gonna place him in C, just below Beowulf, just below average, in my favorites list. I do like the you know, quick draw element he has going on with his MP, like 3 instant shots, etc. But besides that, kinda below mid. Blackbeard. Now, this is where a lot of people, there can be a lot of divisive opinions about him. For a lot of people, he's probably going to be E tier or something, but to me, Blackbeard is B+. B+. I was close to putting him in A. I was very close. I do think he's pretty amusing, though. I think he's a very relatable character as well. And again, I always say this when we talk about Blackbeard, but this is what most people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. He is, for 99% of the players, the most relatable character of all them in the game. You don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. It really is. It's the truth. Even if you don't want to hear it. It's literal facts. It's statistics, okay? And I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm a fellow Coomer, and if it means I have to, you know, be the most relatable to Blackbeard, I'm okay with that. I don't care. That's basically me. I'm a Coomer as well. So yeah, I don't hate the guy. I whenever he appears, which is a lot, he never has like a big role, but he appears a lot. I always enjoy having him around, honestly. I know a lot of people do hate him, like, oh, it's Blackbeard again, oh, time to skip this part of the story or whatever, and that's fair. But personally, I do like him. But I think I was about to say, Jark, his biggest highlight is Summer 3, I would say, when he got that first, like, alternate look. And then later, they actually gave him an actual costume in Summer 6, I believe. Yeah, we're getting that next year in NA. So here's hoping that's gonna make me like him even more. Oh yes. I think Blackbeard is good to invest stocks into. Like over the since like years ago, he has slowly climbed up. Because I kind of hated him at first as well. If you could change. Okay, I'm not gonna answer like questions in the middle of this, but okay, all right. Anyway, Caesar. We're in the C's. Okay. Another interesting one, I suppose. I kind of much like Asterios, he was kind of done dirty in the game. I don't hate the fat Caesar we got, even if he is just a comic relief character, both looks and character-wise, instead of like the legendary Roman emperor that used to exist. So yeah, I think it wouldn't be as bad if we had like an actual, you know, more normal Caesar as well. But because this is the only one we have, same with Asterios, it kind of hurts when you think about it. So yeah, he's just a constant reminder of something that could have been like something really badass or cool or memorable. As is, he's Cleo's husbando that's kind of goofy and fat and funny. And he has a big fucking hand to slap, like pimp slap people with. I do find him pretty funny, but not like so funny that it would, make for the lack of actual serious, normal looking Caesar as well. A dark text for the 60 months. Welcome back to the Go Gang. I'm gonna place him in B, which is above average. Which again, you're free to disagree, but I still think the funny moments are pretty funny, and I love pimp slapping with the giant rock hand or whatever, with his MP upgrade like animation updates. But besides that, I wish we had an actual, proper Caesar as well someday. Okay, we got Caligula. Speaking of Roman emperors, now if you know anything about me, I love this guy. I even have a grilled version on JP, and I always call him the Grand Zerk. He is awesome. He's one of those characters that, again, never really has had big roles in any story. But especially from Olympus, I like this guy. I like him. And I think he's best uncle. Now you might be saying that's someone else, and that's fair, but I think he's best uncle because he truly cares for Nero. He really does. He would do anything to make Nero happy. And if you don't believe me, read his Bond CE description. And if you don't cry after reading through that, you're kind of heartless, honestly. This guy is best uncle and also the Grand Zerk. I'm placing Caligula in A+. That's the first one. There it is. And this is, again, one of those where people will probably mostly have him on the lower half, somewhere here. But not me. Not me. I think he's best uncle. Okay. Alright, we got more Greek servants. On the waifu list, we had Pollux. And now we have, again, this is not Dioscuri in this sense. This is just Castor, I suppose. Now, Pollux, I forgot, was she EX? She was probably EX if I had to guess on the waifu tier list. This is kind of the opposite. I don't hate Castor, but I kind of dislike him though. I'm gonna put Castor into like D tier. Oh, dude, it's such a contrast though. It hurts. It hurts. I'm such a coomer for Pollux, and then Castor is like, ugh, I don't know, man. Yeah, I need to read the interlude that was released today. Maybe this is on the day that the new interlude campaign was released. Maybe that's gonna make him like a bit more. It's just it's timing, I suppose. This is without having read the interlude, so this is just from like Olympus and Atlantis, and I kind of hate him. Not necessarily super hate, but dislike the guy. So yeah, yikes. He's probably nicer in Chaldea, yeah. Anyway, we got Charlie next. Whoa. Mr. Charlemagne. And the boss of all the paladins, huh? At least of his order. Okay. This is also coming from someone who hasn't read Trom or Extella Link, so you gotta keep that in mind. This is gonna be one of those where people will probably disagree. So I don't really have too much to go on with. To me, he's almost the Gudao phase, which I know is wrong to say because he kinda existed. Well, did he exist before Gudao? I forgot, because Extella was released before FGO, but I'm not sure if Extella Link was. I don't think it was, right? So arguably, he is a Gudao face, in that sense, if Gudao did exist before him, art-wise, so I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, I don't hate him. I think he's kind of a cool little righteous paladin dude, you know? He has rainbow beams in his MP as well. And I don't mind the other ascension the spoiler ascension we have as well. Kind of cool. To me, he's C though. But again, I understand if you're going to disagree with this, because again, this is coming from someone that did not read Trom yet and hasn't read Extella Link either. So I would say this is an unfair rating for those reasons. But again, this is as biased as it gets. It's just, I can't lie to myself. I can't be like, oh, I would probably like him if I read the story. I can't assume things, okay? I know a lot of people probably did like him after reading that stuff, but, you know, I'm not going to start assuming stuff, so I'm just going to leave him there for now. Then we got the Gong. Now, a gameplay tier list he would definitely be very much up there, but on this Husbando character tier list, how much I like the characters, etc., I do like the art because it's drawn by Wada Arco, or he's drawn by Wada Arco, obviously. That's very cool. And he's kind of a witty character, makes some snarky comments here and there. But he's kind of one-dimensional, I would say. Which is maybe not the worst thing ever. You know whenever Gong appears, you kind of know what he's gonna say and what kind of stuff he's gonna talk about. I do like that they had a meta moment with him, like, you know, saying he kind of uses servants for ammo as well, which is like, you know, very meta memes, but yeah. I would probably place Gong in C+, just average, on my, you know, Husbando tier list. He's okay. Then we got Charon. We already placed Achilles earlier, and now it's time for the mentor himself. Mentor to a lot of other people as well, I suppose. The great teacher, Charon. Okay, Mr. Centaur. I think I like Achilles more, but I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a very like kind-hearted and whatnot. He always has like good intentions, etc. Even when he's kind of, you know, portrayed as a villain sometimes, like in Atlantis, I think overall he's just a nice guy. He's very like, you know, senpai, like, I don't know what to call it. He's like a senior. He's not like an old guy or anything like that, but you know, he's like the big brother type of character, yeah. At least in the human form. I'm gonna place him in B, just under Achilles. Yeah. I think I like Achilles a little bit more. Alright. Columbus. Another one of those where most people will probably, you know, slide him to one of the lowest tiers of the list, but not me. Again, I like Mr. Rider of Resistance. I think he's very fun. He's not. I think he's a slightly less worse version of Moriarty, because they're both like evil and always do schemes. But I think Moriarty does it better. However, that does not mean I don't like Columbus, because I do. I love this smug evil bastard that loves money and bitches and booty, and you know, he's just fun. He's really fun, and I love his VA as well. He has a very cool voice. I'm gonna place not Blackbeard, Columbus in B plus actually, which again many people will be shocked by, because I think most people kind of dislike him, but yeah, do like this schemer. He's fun to have around. Then there's Mr. Constantine, the Byzantine emperor, right? Yeah, okay. He's got some swag, he's got a suit, etc. He's also got some armor depending on the ascension. Mr. Michael Jackson. The faker, I guess. Actually Constantine. I think his MP is very cool. I see him kind of similarly to Charlie, honestly, to be honest. Both are like, you know, righteous guys, good rulers, etc. But I don't really know too much about them when it comes to fate stuff about them, so yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna slide him into the same tier as Charlie, because again, I do see them very similarly. I don't hate him, I don't love him, and after I read Trom, I'm sure both of them are gonna get bumped up regardless, but yeah, this is before Trom is released on NA, way before it's released on NA, so that's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Okay. Ooh, now is an interesting time. We got all the coups. Oh shit, dude. Okay, I'm gonna do them all in this one batch. Now, I'm not gonna talk about Castor in like Yasu, because I know some stuff about it. No spoilers, okay? I'm just gonna treat him as Coup Castor here. As you would. But anyway, I do love Coup. Coup is an amazing character. He was my original favorite character in Stay Night. When I got into Fate, I read the visual novel, starting with the Saber route, and after I was done, I was immediately in love with this guy. He was my favorite, by far. So this OG Coup is an easy EX tier. I still love this guy. He's one of my favorite characters in Nasu stories. He's a great guy. Now, what would I do with the other ones is the question. Prototype is certainly a lot lower because he doesn't really have the same spotlight, not even close. But he's still cool at its core. I'm gonna place Prototype in B, just above average, because it's still cool, just not the cool I'm used to seeing or know. So yeah, a bit of a deviation there for sure. And no, I have not read Prototype, no. Which also affects that rating, I suppose. Then we got Berserker. I do like Berserker a lot as well. I really like the design too. It's very creative. I'm placing Berserker in A+. He's actually one of my Grail candidates still. So yeah, there you go. Evil Coup is pretty cool too. And then Castor, I'm gonna place in one of the A's. A+. I'm gonna place him in A+, because he's basically the same as Lancer, but as a caster. And after I read Lost Belt 6, he might just be bumped, honestly. But yeah, as is, we'll just do this for now, I suppose. But yeah, I love Coup overall a lot. Definitely one of my favorites. Do we have V in the list? Oh, is the doll supposed to be a guy? I don't think we do, but that's interesting. I think he was a good bro in Fuyuki as well, right? Yeah. At the start of the game, very nostalgic. Ooh, speaking of stuff I started liking from the visual novels, ooh, Cursed Arm Hassan. I love this guy. I love King Hassan more, but I love Cursed Arm as well, honestly. When I read Heaven's Feel, the visual novel, I immediately started liking this guy. He's cool as hell, man. I don't know what it is about it. He's just cool as hell. His MP, his mysteriousness, the big cloak, everything, how agile he is, how he operates. He's a true assassin, okay? Love Mr. Cursed Arm. Regen fans are gonna hate me, but I think he was a better assassin. I think he made for a much more entertaining thing. Sure, there was the epic fight between like Seiba and Regen, but fuck that, dude. Cursed Arm was the better assassin of Stay Night, in my opinion. So yeah, I know most people will be mad about that, but yeah, okay. I liked Cursed Arm more. I'm gonna place Cursed Arm in A+. He's awesome. He's really cool. And he's such a bro in FGO, like, holy crap. He's like one of the nicest guys we have in Chaldea, which is really surprising. Considering, you know, he's supposed to be kinda evil, but he's one of the nicest guys. Alright, Darius, huh? Okay, never really liked Darius, because there's really not much to go on with. If you like his historical counterpart, right? You know, the Persian Emperor or whatever, maybe you're gonna appreciate him more, but in FGO, he's kinda lame. He's just one of those berserkers that doesn't talk at all. Just goes like, rah, 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 and, you know, shit goes down. Press red, enemy dead. Huge guy. He's like a big discount Herc. But doesn't have any of the awesome story bits that Herc was included in. So, yeah, that's a big downgrade if you ask me. I'm gonna place him in D. I think there were some funny bits, namely, you know, what was it, 6-year-old Darius in Christmas? It was funny as fuck in was it like Christmas 1 or 2? I thought it was hilarious, but only because of that. He barely avoids the bottom tier for me. It was pretty funny. They portrayed him like a little kid receiving presents. Okay, we got David next. Daddy of Solomon, huh? Yeah. Mr. You know, Ark of the Covenant, etc. Throws rocks at you with a slingshot. Kills giants on his, you know, day job, I guess. All the Goliaths. Yeah, Destroyer of Spriggans, for sure, yes. I think David is alright. I think he's kind of, dare I say, boring, though. It makes sense to his character, though. It wouldn't, like, if he was like a really super, like, you know, over the top character, I don't think it would make sense considering he's David from the Bible. So I think it does make sense, but having said that, it still like doesn't make me overly like him because of that as well, even if it is realistic for him to act like this. I think David to me is like C tier, just below average in how much I like him. Yeah, I kind of agree with people saying wasted potential. I mean, he's David, father of Solomon, and many killer of Goliath, etc. King David, right? I feel like they could have done a bit more with him, but yeah, who knows? At this point, they probably won't really do anything more with him, really. But yeah, I feel like yeah, wasted potential might be the right word. Still not still don't hate him though. I guess now we have another cryptor. We got Daybit. Now, this is even before LB7 is even released on JP. It's actually going to be released this month, but yeah, he's kind of a mysterious guy, huh? He's very cool and composed. He seems pretty powerful. He seems very knowledgeable. He's kind of a Chad, honestly, of the cryptors. And, you know, insert your David memes. Yeah, David, oh, David, I'm losing. David, oh, help me. Anyway, so there's not too much for me to go on with here, but, I think he's kind of cool, though. I kind of like him. He's definitely not my favorite cryptor, not even close. Who knows, maybe that'll change after, like, LB7 or whatever, but as is, I think he's, like, somewhere in the mid-tier for cryptors, including all of them, like girls, guys, everything. I would place him in average for now. Just average. I'm very interested to learn more about him though. I think he has very high potential. So yeah, excited to know more about the Mr. David for sure. For now, just gonna leave him in average. I guess we have Daon in this list as well, so much like Astolfo one, this will be one of the ones that I can see in a slammable way. So, I forgot where I placed Daon in the waifu list. I think it was A. I'm probably gonna stick to the same thing here. It was probably A or B+. I think it was A, but yeah, okay. Just gonna slam Daon right there, no pun intended. Do find Daon pretty, you know, good civ, if you know what I mean. I wish we got those Agartha costumes. I have to mention that every time we talk about Daon. Both the Daon and the Astolfo one. Would be nice to have those. Would improve them quite a bit as well. Alright. Yeah, for the guy asking about David, he will mostly be in LB7. He just kind of appears here and there for like, you know, a bit. We don't know too much about him. So yeah, LB7 will basically tackle him primarily. Then we got the Diarmuid duo. Now, if you know me, I kind of have a bit of a PTSD when it comes to Diarmuid Saber. I'm not going to really make it affect the ranking too much, but I should mention that at least, I suppose. I kind of like Saber, honestly. Honestly, was it Enmate? Yeah, right? He was kind of cool in Enmate. He and Fion kind of both got a little bit of points in my eyes after reading through the Enmate event. They were kind of cool there. And then obviously a Lancer variant has quite a bit of stuff going on for him in Fate Zero, because he was, you know, the Lancer of the Holy Grail War in Zero. He's a very, very righteous guy. Like, as knight as they come. He couldn't be more like a prime example of what a, you know, when you say the word knight, he would be someone that, you know, would pop into your head in terms of how he acts and whatnot. Yeah, I do prefer Ku a lot, obviously, over Diarmuid, but I think he's okay. So I would place Diarmuid in, like, I'm gonna place, I think, both in the B tier, above average. Definitely prefer Ku, even if Prototype happens to be here, all the other ones are up here, but yeah, I think Diarmuid was alright. In Fate Zero, and in, you know, the bits of FGO we have of him. Not too bad. And we got some more Trom stuff. We got Don Quixote. Maybe my favorite servant in all of Trom. And that might be surprising to a lot of people. Because, you know, we had young Moriarty as well. I like, dude, I love the design of Don Quixote. It's so awesome. It's so cool. And his story is so iconic as well. He's a little dwarf here, and Sancho is a waifu as well. It's so cool. I love the design. I love this is that, like, Don Quixote again is a good reminder of why I really like FGO. In some other gacha games, they would never have anything like this. This wouldn't be possible, right? A small little guy with a giant lance and a, like, what, a horse waifu in one servant character. It's so cool. I love it. I just love it, dude. And the VAs, yeah, the VAs are awesome as well. I think he has Camille's VA from Zeta Gundam, who started from the 80s already, so that's crazy. Is very, very cool stuff. Honestly, Don Quixote is one of my Grail candidates in a way as well, because I don't really have many Lancer ones otherwise. Very, very awesome stuff. Again, I sadly still haven't read Trom though, but I'm gonna place them in A tier, just because of how much I love the design and the idea behind the duo here. And, you know, again, the story of Don Quixote, iconic. You just gotta like it, dude. I'm sure this might get bumped up even higher after I read Tron, but yeah, Don Quixote, big thumbs up. Wow, still a big list to go, huh? Oh, Douman is next, right. I guess he was not listed on the A, but instead of the D, okay. D for Douman, not tier, but, you know, in terms of the alphabetical setting. I mean, you guys know me. I love this man. He's one of my favorite guys in all of FGO, for sure. He's, like, remember earlier when I was saying, like, David is, like, you know, hateable, but in the not good kind of sense? Douman is hateable in the best kind of sense. You just, like, you hate him, but you love him. Now, obviously, not the case for everyone. For some people, they see him the same as, like, you know, Beryl. Did I say David earlier? I think I said, but yeah, Beryl, basically. I think most people, or not most, but a lot of people do hate him, Douman, genuinely. And I get that. I get that. Douman is not for everyone. But I love him. I think he's one of the best villains we've had. He's just great. I think whenever he's around, I just smile. Love his design, love his VA, love his character. He's fucking sexy. He's awesome. Ashia Douman. One of the best guys in FGO. Can you have a link to this? Sure. Let's see. I'll link it to you. There you go. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I'm probably going to link the template in the description as well. Now, we got Edison. I think most people will immediately throw him in E tier just because of how he looks. I'm not going to be that quick to judge. Would I prefer like a normal human looking Edison? Probably, if they made him like similar to Tesla, which would make sense. But as a character, he's kind of fun, you know? He's just kind of fun. But we have a lot of fun characters. I don't think he really stands out too much. I kind of like the banter between him and Tesla. And sometimes, you know, with Helena intervening as well. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying though, but you know, it's kind of nice to have it here and there. I would probably place him in D+ though. I still don't really love him too much. Like if I had to pick from Tesla and Edison, I love Tesla way more. Tesla in my eyes is the guy. He's the guy I really like. Edison, just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, for me it's also about the design as well. I wish he looked a little bit more human. Yeah, oh well. Crazy King is kind of fun though. Ooh, Edmond Dantes. Oof. When I started FGO in 2017 and I was a complete noob and didn't even know what characters we had, I remember when I went into a battle, I picked a Dantes that wasn't even on my friends list because I didn't have any friends back then because it was like one of the first battles I did. I picked like a Grail Dantes and I was like, what the fuck? This is so cool. Who is this guy? Who is this guy with his back turned to the enemy? Fucking edgy, cool design. Like, what the fuck? This guy is awesome. So I immediately, I already started liking Dantes before I even knew who he was when I started playing as a noob. And then obviously later I learned, like, oh, it's the Count of Monte Cristo. It's Edmond Dantes. That guy. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then we got the Prison Tower event, and then him, you know, obviously appearing kind of regularly in the story as well because of his very unique connection to the player, the master. I think he's awesome. I like this guy. This is a tough one for me because I almost want to put him into EX. It's definitely an A+ at least for me. I really like this guy. I think I might leave him an A+ for now though. But I do really like Dantes. And his laugh is very fun. Yes. Lovely guy. Yeah, he's literally guarding our dreams, yeah? To make sure we don't go like insane and shit. What a nice guy. Okay. Oh, Emiya time. Even Kiritsu because he's labeled as Emiya, right? Yeah, okay. I guess we'll start with, you know, Emiya Alter then. Demiya, whatever you want to call him. Now, obviously, I think most people prefer OG Emiya. I think myself included, but I don't hate Emiya Alter. I think he was kind of nice in the CCC event, right? He was one of the main lead allied units we had. And yeah, I thought he was fun to have around, honestly. And his role in Shinjuku, while mostly, you know, like a, you know, mid-boss, if anything, nothing really substantial, it wasn't bad either. But I think his main highlight was CCC, though, for sure. Hey, thanks for the raid. That's pretty poggin'. His intro is pretty good too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've done that. Don't remember too much about it though, sadly. I should probably revisit if anything. Like his personality, yeah, I agree that it's not very different from OG Emiya. It's a bit more edgy, but his ideals are still there, right? He's just a bit more sad. Just kind of depressed. I would place him in B+, and for OG Mr. Unlimited Blade Works, A+. I do like him. if of all the Shirou variants, kinda, whatever you want to call them, Shirou faces, OG Emiya is my favorite for sure. So yeah, sorry for the Muramasa fans out there. He's definitely not gonna be appearing above him, even if he would be for a lot of people. If I had to choose my favorite, OG Archer Emiya would be my go-to for my favorite Shirou face. But there's many good ones, obviously. So I don't hate any of the ones still. Just very good memories from the visual novels. He had because like no matter what route you're gonna go through in Stay Night, Emiya had good moments in every single one. That's the great part about him. Sure, his main focus was Unlimited Blade Works, right? But he had many great moments in both not Stay Night, Fate and Heaven's Feel as well. So he's just a very memorable, awesome guy. Even if I kind of hate the Ideals thingy from Unlimited Blade Works, besides that, I very much like the guy. Very cool. Alright, then we got Kiritsugu. Okay. I guess we should consider Fate Zero here as well, because it is basically, you know, the same Kiritsugu we know from the stories, just as a kind of a depressed servant. I never was really that big of a fan for OG Kiritsugu either. If I had to pick between Kirei and Kiritsugu, I would 100% go with Kirei every single time. Even if I still kind of like Kiritsugu though. He's kind of cool with his, you know, time-altering magecraft, etc. He has a gun, like that's kind of cool. But, yeah. He can be kind of a dick too, and kind of, you know, condescending. Doesn't really care too much about feelings most of the time. Which again, for some people, that's a like really likable feature, but I don't know. I'm placing him in the same tier as Emiya Alter still. I do like him, but like I don't love the guy. I still prefer like, you know, Emiya Archer, Kirei, other characters that, you know, were kind of related, I suppose, etc. So yeah. He's cool though. At least in this tier list, he does okay versus a gameplay one, because he could use more buffs, let's be real. Then we got Enkidu again. I forgot where I placed him in the waifu tier list, actually. I'm guessing like a B plus or A or something. I guess here, since I'm not thinking too much about slamming most of the time, I should probably put more of a weight into his story portions as well. I think he's kind of nice. He's like a very good friend. I mean, he's the one that basically, you know, redeemed Gilgamesh when you think about it. He would probably be kind of a lost cause otherwise. But because of Enkidu, Gil is kind of... he's a changed man. Heavenly Chains, Enkidu. A tier. Some people love the guy. I think he's good, but he's not like top tier in my list. Very nice in Babylonia though, especially as Kingu, honestly. I think was a nice little twist they did, I suppose. Cool character arc in that Singularity. Oh, it's Eric. Honestly, it's the first E. It is. It's E for Eric. Not because of that, but because there's nothing. There's nothing, dude. There's nothing. He has nothing in the story. He makes funny noises with his MP. I don't like his design either. He's weird. So I think is Eric the most tragic servant in all of FGO? Like both gameplay and character wise, he really has nothing. He really just doesn't have anything going on with him. He's just the guy with the bloody axe, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, at least the challenge quest in the Bunyan challenge quest, he was kind of fun as an enemy, but besides that, yeah. And the Gilfish challenge quest, yeah. But yeah, as a character, nothing. Alright, Fergus then. Moving on to the Fs. Actually, there's only 2 Fs in here, okay. Mr. like, you know, would you guys call him a Chad versus a non-Chad? Maybe he's a kind of a Chad. Usually he kind of gets rejected, at least officially, when it comes to the ladies, but I don't know. He's kind of a Chad, at least in terms of character. Even if he might, might get rejected here and there. And yeah, his voice is nice because it's, it's the same VA that did Ivan and also like Kiryu from Yakuza series. Kind of hard not to hear that when you use him. I guess this list doesn't have Shota Fergus separately. I'm kind of surprised, but not that I obviously prefer the adult version. The Shota was kind of weird. I don't know why they gave us a kid version. It really didn't add anything, to be honest, in Argartha. At least Blackbeard portrays the pervert part funny. This guy doesn't. Yeah, I feel like as a character, I would call him more of a Chad than Blackbeard, but I feel like he just does it worse, though. I would place Fergus in C, just below average. I like that he's obviously a part of Ku's story as well, a bit, but I don't really like him too much. He's okay. Voice crack. He's so okay that my voice cracked. Yeah. He doesn't have an animation update still, right? Oh, that's a yikes. Should probably do that at least. Okay, we got Fion. Yeah, I think his stonks have gone up a little bit. He's like the slowest of all the stonks, but I think he's heading upwards. But still, he hasn't like hit very high highs for me yet. Much like with Diarmuid, I said he was pretty fun to have around in the Enmate story. But I can't really think of many other places where I actually enjoyed seeing him too much. I think he is kind of shafted, yeah. If Diarmuid was B, mostly because of Fade Zero, then I'm probably going to place Fion in the C tier next to Fergus as well, honestly. Just below average. Potential is there, for sure. He's a Fey guy as well, right? So, yeah. Just do more with him. Okay. Then we got the Gawain. We get the dude version this time instead of like Barghest. Okay. Mr. Sunny. Although there's going to be another Mr. Sunny later as well. So we have this Sword Sunny guy. Mr. Dark Souls. Praise the sun. I actually have more of an opinion about Gawain than I think most people in the chat do, because I also played through Extra and even, saw his bits in CCC as well. I think he's pretty cool, especially in CCC, actually. He really redeemed himself. In FGO, we mostly kind of saw him as like a villain in terms of Camelot. Same like Tristan, for instance. But I think Gawain is a very nice guy. He's definitely a bro. Besides Camelot, I suppose. I would place him in B+, actually. I like Mr. Sunny. Mr. Sword Sunny. Can't really go into too many spoilers of CCC stuff, etc. But, yeah. I think he had good moments. Moments that I also still remember. Just don't let him cook, yeah, true. Okay, George time. Saint George riding his horse and swinging his broken Ascalon. And likes to take photos. Apparently photography is his hobby. I don't know where they came up with that idea, but honestly, I don't really mind it. It's kind of cute. He's just a photographer in FGO for whatever reason. He's likable, but he's kind of one-dimensional, honestly. He's just there smiling, doing his nightly thing, taking photos, and then he just kind of bounces. That's like George whenever he appears in any story ever. It's not a bad thing, but it's also not much to go on with either, honestly. C tier goes next to the Knights, in my opinion. Nice guy, but very, very one-dimensional. Kind of nice to have around, but not really someone you'd like to, stay for like a full story chapter or anything. Unless I'm wrong, maybe they could make him like a nice story edition as well, properly. Who knows? Dude, I would like to be proven wrong, if anything. The G-Man. Okay, thank God this is not a gameplay tier list. Although, to be honest, even in this list, he probably won't play super high. I think he does gain more points as a character, though. He's in a lot of interludes, I've noticed. Because he's like a terrain expert, so whenever there's like scouting missions, etc., is like chances are Geronimo is with you in the interlude, which, you know, I guess gives him more relevance as well. I like his tracking abilities as a Native American. Kind of cool stuff. Also, I like the MP. The chant is kind of pogging. He's a good guy for sure. Is he super memorable or anything like that? Not really. I think his main highlight was definitely in the American Singularity, even if it wasn't like super memorable. He's just a bro. He's an okay bro. I'm actually gonna place him at average tier in the C+. I can't wait to see comments about people mulling that what Geronimo is in the same tier as Arjuna Alter. Oh, I'm dude, it's you know it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will place him above the Night Bros here, I think. Or will I? Maybe he's the same as these guys, honestly. They're all nice guys and whatnot. Yeah, you know what? Okay. Alright. Okay, so maybe I can avoid those Arjuna Alter comments. Okay. Yeah, he's like, you know, with these guys over here. Okay. Ooh, Gilgamesh time, huh? We got the kid, we got the Castor, we got the archer. Okay, Mr. King of Kings. Or King of Heroes. King of Kings is Ozzy. Yeah, King of Heroes. Got my titles all mixed up over here. Yeah, I even have a good knowledge of Kid Gil because of Prisma Ilia and Holo Ataraxia. Yeah, I've seen him in both, so yeah, interesting. I think he was originally introduced in HA, pretty sure, before even FGO was a thing, so I think that's why he exists in the first place. I'm gonna start by rating Kid Gil, I think, because he's gonna rank the lowest of the ones. I think he has good moments, but he's mostly just a very playful, silly, like kid-like character that kinda is a bit teasy, but not really. Average. Mostly because I've read through HA and seen him in many times in Prisma Elia as well. He had good moments in both, for sure. If anything, he maybe should be even higher a bit. You know what? B tier. Now, then we got the Castor Gil and the OG Archer. Okay, so I'm gonna place Castor in A+, for sure. I thought he was one of the best parts of Babylonia, both the anime and the story itself. I think he's a great guy. Well-written character as well. Not much else for me to say. And then, honestly, Archer... There's a bit more to go on with Archer when it comes to Stay Night, CCC, you name it. I guess even Strange Fake, etc. I'm gonna place him in the same tier, personally. I like him. I like Gilgamesh. Even when I remember when I said I read when I first got into Fate, I read the Fate for the first time. Ku is was my favorite and still is my favorite, but I liked Gilgamesh as well, honestly. I think I always thought Gilgamesh to be like a good character, be it as like a more villainy type or more as like a, you know, righteous hero type. I think he can kind of pull it all off, and he's definitely one of the, you know, I kind of like that he's so OP, if that makes sense. Like he's so OP lore wise. I think there's something to like there. I don't know what it is, but I just love that he can just pull bullshit out of his gates and just be like, okay. There's something I like about that. Okay. Oh, it's Jill time. Oh no. I will definitely place Castor a bit higher than Saber, honestly. Mostly because of Fate Zero, I think. Let's see. Where would I place Saber, Jill? He kind of appears a bit here and there, but not really. Is D+ too much or is it D? I don't know. I'm gonna place him in D, honestly. Now for Castor, though, I think he's pretty amusing, and he even gets a bit of bonus points for the cameos in Imaginary Scramble, because he's definitely knowledgeable about the foreigner business, because, you know, he kind of worships a foreign god himself as well, in Prelati, basically. And I kind of like how crazy he goes for John as well, and he has really funny expressions in-game. I'm actually placing Jill Castor in B. I'm actually doing it, dude. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm placing him above average because I like the guy. I think he's fun. He's definitely one of the better fun characters we have in the game. I like the guy. Like, honestly, whenever he appears, I just kind of smile. He's fun. He's really fun. And I'm honestly kind of hyped for the foreigner thingy connection he has as well. Kind of cool. No pun intended. I bet a lot of people would place him in like E tier though, but you know, so be it. And yeah, much like with Arash, his vocal performance, Tsuruoka Satoshi's here, is great. He does it great as Arash, but he also does like a you know, good crazy Jill voice as well. So good VA. Okay, then we get a couple of Geatias, huh? First of all, you know, the demon pillar look, I don't know what to call it. The guy that everyone remembers as the big boss of the first part, and then the epilogue version where, you know, the King of Humans version where he kind of looks human himself, I suppose. So Beast Getia versus King of Humans Getia. I'm probably gonna treat them mostly the same, honestly. Even if he kind of, you know, changed his mind a little bit as the latter part, not really. But yeah. Also, you know, a bit of bonus points for being voiced by Sugita. I think his voice is pretty sexy. We'll have more sexy voices later in this list as well, and we already have had some sexy voices, but yeah, you kind of have to like Sugita's voice, right? It's kind of nice. Now, where would I place Getia? I'm placing him above average in B tier. Now, will I place King of Humans in the same tier? I'm actually going to place King of Humans a bit lower. I think he had a bit... I like the boldness, the audacity, the godliness he displayed as like the Chad version. I mean, sure, this is kind of cool as well. And this is more of a, you know, a good guy. If any, not really a good guy. It's kind of hard to go onto it, but yeah, I kind of like the... I like this version a bit more, where he's like very confident. He's like, you can't do shit. My plan is gonna come to fruition. And then his awesome MP as well. Oh, it's pretty cool, man. Ooh, that giant beam and shit. Yeah, it's pretty damn nice. That MP chant too. Waga nawa Getia. It's pretty memorable. Anyway, not bad. Oh, I guess we have, yeah, because we had Gurako in the waifu tier list, who I think I placed in EX. This is... Now we got Gudao on the male list. Gudako was EX because she's stupid hot, and I would absolutely smash. But in this case, there's not really the same thing here. So now I'm mostly seeing him as a story thingy. I think the main character has had developments, especially, not much maybe necessarily in part 1, mostly spiking in the later singularities. But honestly, part 2 kind of gradually has given a bit more development. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Still, I feel like he's mostly still like the, he's the quota to fill the need for the main character, right? He doesn't really stand out too much. The stuff you mostly remember are just the servants that are the main characters from the stories themselves, right? That's usually what you always remember. Sure, there's some cool moments where he goes like, does stuff with command seals, etc. sometimes that are kind of memorable, but you really just think about the servants mostly. At least that's how I find it. So, yeah, he fills the quota. He works as a main character, but I don't really love him or hate him. I'm gonna place him in B because again, there are some good moments, namely like some of the command seal ones, and you know, kind of, you know, somehow 1 versus 1 in Getia a little bit as well, which was kind of cool but kind of weird. I don't know what I feel about it yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna place him above average. I think he's an okay main character. I don't hate him. He's good. He's good. Yeah, the anime definitely improves a little bit, I suppose, on him. He was okay in Babylonia. We actually have adult Hans here as well, in addition to normal one. Okay. OG Hans. Again, I give him a bit of bonus points for the CCC stuff, and I like the, you know, I like his relationship with Kiara as well. Both, you know, young and old version. I'm gonna place Hans above average. I love the witty banter. His dialogue is always written in like a smart way. It kind of makes you feel dumb, but I kind of like it, if that makes sense. He's very snarky as well. He's definitely an old man, like, inside of a kid's body. Also, he has, Koyasu Takehito as the VA, like many of these other characters, which is really funny on the kid version. And then Adult Hans? I'm basing Adult Hans a bit higher, actually. I thought he didn't really have a major role in Summer 5, but I actually liked that he was there in an adult form. The interaction with Kiara, well, Summer Kiara at the time, was even better, honestly, than the normal banter they have. He was a bit more serious as well, I feel like, which I kind of appreciated. I think Adult Hans is kind of pogging. I wish we had like a playable version as well. Good stuff. Okay, Hector time. Now, if this was just like part 1 story, I wouldn't really have too much to think about here. I didn't really, because he was mostly just in Okeanos, right? But he actually had a pretty significant, it was a small yet significant little thing in Atlantis, right? Which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously, it wasn't like the greatest thing ever. Atlantis had, other more memorable moments than the Kector thing. But that definitely gave him points in my eyes. And, now that we have Paris as well, he's a bit more relevant again, I suppose. I would place Hector mostly because of the Atlantis thing in C. He would probably be one of the Ds otherwise. But you know what, old man Hector? He's not bad. That Atlantis moment, good civ. Ooh, it is Herc time. Whoa. So yeah, again, this is coming from someone who has actually, experienced all the Stay Night routes, I suppose. Yeah, he's an interesting case, I suppose. I think the number one thing I like the most about Herc, at least this Berserker version, is his devotion to Ilya. I find that very fascinating. Like, he is an insane servant. By definition, he has lost all sanity. But he still has, like, the small glimmer of humanity left to be, like, sentient enough to actually do his best to first and foremost protect Ilya. Which I actually find awesome. It's displayed many a times in various Stay Night stories. Even in Heaven's Feel, which was kind of cool. So, yeah. I've always had like a soft spot for him. He's definitely not among my favorites when it comes to Stay Night characters. Because obviously there's not too much to go on with, because he's mostly just kind of does, inaudible noises and just smashes a lot and hard. That in and of itself kind of cool though. I can appreciate a badass and strong character like Gilgamesh, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, I mostly like him for the Ilya thing. And I would rate Herc, honestly, I'm rating him A. I'm feeling an A on Herc, honestly. Of all the characters that don't talk, I think he might be the highest, that I will place here. He's awesome. It's just that he does stuff with his actions mostly that really give him all the points, because he doesn't talk, obviously, so there you go. Ooh, also, was there a sub just now? Oh, Tosik, thanks for the 9 months, so welcome back to the Go Gang. Yeah, I know what you mean, Marth. That was awesome. That was an amazing addition. Like, I still maybe prefer that scene a little bit more in the visual novel, but that, like, reel that they did in that awesome moment that showed, like, Herc in various thingies, oh my god, it was amazing. It was, like, EX tier fan service. Anyway. Then we got the Lobo. So besides Shinjuku, there really hasn't been too much to do with Mr. Hessian and Lobo, the duo combination servants of the headless guy and the American Wolf King. A very interesting duo, very random, but you know what? It kind of works. If anything, I think the most points I'm gonna give to Lobo is, again, because of the design. It's wacky as shit and I love it. It's so different. It's bold, it's braving. I love that they did a servant like this. Just the fact that a servant, like, it's a combination of two different things that probably won't make any sense together, but they're like, fuck it, we're gonna do it anyway, and it somehow works. I don't know why, it just kind of works. It's an interesting little pairing they have. But obviously, sadly, because they don't really talk. Although sometimes they do give us like inner monologue of what like the what Hessian or the dog thinks, which is or Lobo thinks, which I find interesting. But you know, mostly because the design, I'm gonna place them. I think Lobo is gonna go into C plus. Good boy and a cool guy riding him. Not bad. Sadly, it kind of makes me wish that the guy riding Lobo was actually someone that had a head, so we could have a bit more, you know, of a conversation with them instead of like, you know, them just doing some acts to appear nice and whatnot, like giving us rides and shit. But at the same time, I kind of like that it's the, you know, Hessian, the headless guy. What's that word again? Adulahan, right? Because it's just a crazy combo and it's kind of cool. But it's like a trade-off when you think about it. Not bad though. Well, this is a cool one. Well, if you know anything about me, Mr. Hijikata Toshizo is an EX tier guy. I love this man. I love this man so much. Definitely one of my favorite guys in all of FGO. It's just I love this guy. He is Shinsengumi. He embodies the entire Makoto. Their existence, the reason they exist. He is the guy. He's the last one standing. He's the one that will always fight until the bitter end. What an awesome man this guy is. And I'm a huge Shinsengumi fan as well, so this is like a super biased one, but hey, that's the point of this list anyway. I love Hijikata, and I'm gonna die on this hill. His interlude is still the best in the entire game. So far, of all the ones I've read, his interlude is the best one. And if you read that and you don't, like the Shinsengumi more and him after that, I don't know what to tell you. That interlude is god tier. It's better than most story chapters we have. And it really makes me sad that we don't have Kondo in FGO as well. I really want that guy as well. Anyway, Hijikata, love that man. Not much for me to go on with, but yeah. You could watch the Why I Grailed video where I mentioned a few more things, I suppose, but yeah, love that guy. Okay, we got, hey, it's my mold emote. Okay, we got Hozoin. Alright, Mr. Monk with the spear. Interesting little dude. So, has he had anything besides Shimosa for story stuff? I don't really remember. Probably not, honestly. And honestly, his role in this story wasn't even that long, because he was the first of the Swordmasters, so, you know, for obvious reasons, we didn't really get too much out of Hozoin in the story. He's kind of cool though. I have mixed feelings though because he has waivers VA. I kind of whenever he talks, I just kind of always hear waiver, and because of gacha PTSD, yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, oh yeah, he had an interlude as well. True. I guess that's good because again, his time in Shimosa wasn't really all that amazing. He's a bro though. I'm placing him in C again, with some of these other bros that have like not so impact or like much story presence, but you know, they're still bros for sure. There you go. Then we got Mr. Huang Feihu. I think a lot of people kind of immediately forgot about this guy, myself kind of included. Yeah, he was in the release with Suikoden Assassin for like, what was it? It was Halloween, right? I want to say it was Halloween, but I honestly I think it was, right? It was this year's Halloween, right? Yeah, okay. Because we had Pretender Liz and Koa and Shaku in the same event. So yeah, I'm in the same boat as generic user. I don't know anything about his character. I really don't. This is mostly just like a visual placement. And to me, he doesn't really stand out too much. He's like, he's a cool, like, Chinese version of a knight, basically. Seems like a very righteous stud. But because I don't really know anything about him, because he's a very new character to be added to FGO, and he, as far as I know, he doesn't exist in any other Fate work. So, yeah. I'm placing him in D+, just because of that. Again, much like some of the Tron ones, kind of an unfair rating. But I'm sure it'll change in the future. Okay. Next up, we have Jekyll and Hyde. Much like many other characters, mostly appears in just one story, and in his case it was London, right? Yeah, okay. One of the good guys for sure in the story. Had some cute interactions with some of the other cast, like Mordred, for instance. I kind of like the split personality thing, even though gameplay-wise it's horrible, because the way they implemented it, but character-wise, I think it's a cool little thing. Definitely not like a very original thing. I mean, obviously, because it's even the thing, you know, where he's from, it's, you know, that's a part of it. As one of the forefathers of the split personality story thing anyway. But yeah, he honestly didn't really have that big of an impact in story. Like as Jekyll, he's kind of, you know, he's just a nice, calm guy that doesn't back now. Okay. So yeah, as Jekyll, he's kind of boring and he's just a nice, boring guy. And as Hyde, he's kind of like that lunatic, but I feel like it's kind of forced. He's like, haha, I'm crazy. I'm gonna stab people. Ha ha. Look how crazy I am. Oh, stab. Ha. It's such a generic crazy guy, right? So I don't know. Two personalities is cool, but neither of them or both of them are like kind of generic to me. D plus. Not really doing it for me. Alright, we finally have Iskandar. Alexander was earlier, and now we have the, in my opinion, the better version of the character. Mostly because of Fate Zero, if anything, because man, he was very memorable in Fate Zero. Now, how much do I like him otherwise? He's a cool king character for sure. A true bro, yeah. A Chad, if you will. And yeah, Fate Zero, really easy points for him, I suppose. He probably wasn't my favorite character in the whole thing, but he was definitely up there on the better side. I'm rating Iskandar an A tier. I think that's easily deserved. He's a great guy. Very, very a great guy. I like the stories of Alexander the Great as well. Growing up, I heard some of that stuff. One of the, you know, if we go outside like the mythos stuff for Greece, he would definitely be up there on the human side. Yeah, the case files thing was a little bit cool as well, I suppose. Alright. Oh, dude, I'm about to make so many people mad because I will rate Ivan higher than I will rate Arjuna Alter because they're both LB kings. Oh, people are gonna be mad. People are gonna be mad. Ivan is arguably my favorite Lost Belt king, and I know it's a very biased one. I'm not saying it's like a very good objective reason to say that. I'm saying it's a very biased reason to say that. Objectively, I don't think he is the best king. Definitely not. But personally, he is my favorite. I like this guy. I love this guy, man. He's, again, one of my Grail candidates. And, yeah. First of all, again, same VS Fergus. We got Kiryu's voice. Awesome. Again, design. I love it. It's so cool. I love these kinds of wacky designs. It's awesome to me. And I thought he had cool moments in Lost Belt 1 as well. Even if, like, you know, people will say, like, yo, he's not, like, the best of all the kings. And, yeah, sure. I understand if people say that. But he's still my favorite, honestly. Kind of as simple as that. And honestly, if you, as a bonus note, I think his Valentine scene is really good. Really good. Like, it shows a completely different side of him as well. Where he's just a nice guy that kind of has his regrets from his life. And he was telling bedtime stories. You definitely see a whole other guy. If you have not seen it, I would recommend watching it. It's one of my favorite Valentine scenes ever. I'm rating him an A tier. And I can't wait to see some angry comments. I can't wait. He's so much higher than Arjuna Alter is. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. But so be it. I really like Ivan, okay? I do wish he had a bit more presence in LB1 because for the most of it he was kind of just sleeping. So that's the only reason why I don't really put him higher. But when he was awake and doing shit, I was pogging. Ari's gonna kill you. I know. Alright, then we got the Moriartys. We got the old and the young. And I'm gonna be real with you. Again, I have not read Trom. But honestly, even if I had read Trom, I bet I would like old Moriarty still more. I love old Moriarty. Mostly because of my old man fetish, and he's such a lovable guy. He's like, he and Douman might just be some of my favorite evil people in the game. Like, they're objectively evil. Their whole existence is based on doing evil shit. But I love the guys. I just love them, dude. I'm sure young Moriarty got some interesting stuff going for him as well. Even the design is kind of cool. We actually have a professor design as well for him. Even though, yeah, it's on the Archer as well. But it's a different kind on the First Ascension, I believe. So first of all, I'm gonna rate OG Moriarty an EX tier. I'm rating him EX. I really love this guy. And if it wasn't obvious, he's one of my Grail candidates as well. I should definitely Grail him in one of my servers for sure. Do love this man. Whenever he appears, immediately a better story. Just immediately. Immediately the story becomes better when Moriarty is involved. Like, remember earlier when I said Columbus is like a lesser version of Moriarty? They're both like evil schemers. But yeah, Moriarty does it better. And I assume, yeah, this is clearly a shocker to a lot of people. But yeah, I think Moriarty is amazing. Also, bonus note, my absolute #1 favorite Raita design. I love his design. Ascension 3 is kind of a miss. I think it's a bit too much, but Ascension 1, especially Ascension 2, holy crap, that is an amazing character design. It's perfect. It's so good. Everything about the coffin gun, the cane with this like hidden like blade in it, his dapper looks, just everything about it. Amazing design. Easily my favorite Raita design. And that's saying a lot, because again, that's going before, like, let's say, the Kintoki costume. Yeah, this is still my favorite, okay? Alright. Now, for young Moriarty, it's going to be a bit different, because, I mean, first of all, the design is still very cool, though. But again, I haven't read Trom, so I don't really know how much different he is character-wise. I assume he's similar, though. But again, that's only me assuming things. I'm gonna place him in B+, because he's still Moriarty. I like the design, I like the concept behind the character, but this is only right here because I haven't read Trom yet. I'm sure I'm gonna bump him afterwards, but even then, I'm guessing I'm still gonna like OG more, just because I have that soft spot for him. The old man, crazy, evil villain professor.
Jason isn't at least
it's like a perfect trope to me.
And slap your ass and steal the Greek vase. Pepe laugh.
It's not even my vase, though. It's my mom's. Please don't steal it. Okay. Anyway, oh, he's the next one. Oh, no wonder you sent that message. Okay. Now, on good news for people that like him, if thank God this list is happening after Atlantis has been out on NA, because if Atlantis wasn't in the conversation, I mean, probably D tier, probably, if Atlantis didn't exist. But it does now, and I have obviously read it quite a long time ago at this point. And yeah, I knew people hyped him up in the story. I was like, okay, I'll be the judge of it when I get to it myself, okay. And he kind of exceeded my expectations. He was awesome. He was top 3 characters in the whole damn Singularity. And that says a lot, considering I love Super Ryan most of all. Jason, how we want to say his name? He was amazing in Atlantis. And having said that, Atlantis so far, also my favorite Lost Belt story. This is also before LB6 comes out, just to note that if you're watching this like a lot later. But yeah, I still think Atlantis is my favorite one so far. He definitely helps in that. He's awesome. I love the fake out he did at the end where he like pretended to be like okay, but he was, oh, it's so good. And then you see, the end as well. This guy is like the definition of a character redemption. Like, it's crazy. compare Okeanos Yasun to Atlantis, it's the complete opposite. It's like one of the biggest redemptions in all of FGO. A+. I am so close to the EX, but I'm just putting him in A+ for now. But yeah, considering he was gonna be like a D tier otherwise, I mean, it's a huge improvement, needless to say. So yes, one of the best highlights of Atlantis. Awesome guy. Completely turned my opinion about him around. And honestly, again, I said the story in the JP Grail video as well. Because of Atlantis, I kind of don't regret my Grail anymore. Because I did the Grail, not because I liked him back then, but because I lost a stupid bet. But on hindsight, I don't really regret it anymore because he's such a cool character in Atlantis, so there's that. Okay. Moving on. They had you had Hyde and Jekyll differently. You know what? I'm gonna lump them in the same tier. Yeah. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, same character, just, you know, different generic personality in my eyes. If I read the story of Jekyll and Hyde, maybe I'd like it a bit more, but in FGO standards, meh. Okay, we got another Cryptor next. We got Kadok, Mr. Last Build 1, or at least mostly there. Okay. So yeah. Anastasia's hobby, right? Cosplay someday or something, I don't know. I think he's gonna resurface in like Tunguska, right? I'm pretty sure. So I haven't read Tunguska yet, so I don't know what to really think of him. Obviously, I still have a good opinion about him based on the stuff we have on NA already. There's already been quite a bit of screen time for him and various stuff. Oh, was it Trom? Oh, it was Trom. Okay, I mixed my thingies. Okay, anyway. Yes, but so I do have an opinion of him already, I suppose. I don't hate him, but I don't really love him either, to be honest. He's kind of a realistic character, right? He's just like, he's a good mage that got selected to be in the A team, but he's not like overpowered. He doesn't have like big secrets behind him. He's just a cautious, solid like mage, right? Yeah, he's like a survivor. Got lumped together with Anastasia, and they had like an interesting thing going on as well in Last Build 1. I don't really mind. I think he's alright. So where did I place like David was in C+. I have to place him over David because I do like him a bit more. But again, whenever I read Last Build 7, which won't be for a while, David might get bumped a little bit more. But I'll place Kadok above average. I think he's fine. He was an interesting character. Good part of the A team, I would say. Okay. Ooh, Karna time. There's quite a bit of a difference to the Arjuna stuff. So we got Santa and OG. Because I haven't. This is just before we get Santa, Karna, and NA. I'm probably gonna place Lancer a bit higher, but probably not too much higher. It's still Karna after all. It's basically the same character, but whenever I think of Karna, I think of all the awesome moments where he appears as Lancer, basically. But maybe like a small difference between them, if anything. So Karna, yeah, I do prefer Karna a lot when it comes to him versus Arjuna. Mostly because of like CCC, APOC, LB4, like he kind of got the, Arjuna got the short end of the stick, right? Karna gets all these amazing moments. Arjuna really doesn't. He just doesn't. Yeah, especially CCC. Oh yeah, for sure. Karna is awesome, dude. I'm placing Karna in A+, dude. I love this guy. And then Santa I'm gonna place in A. Just because I just think of Lancer whenever I think... It's still the same guy though, but I just always think of Lancer because he was Lancer in all those moments. I'm just gonna place Santa here, just because, it's just another Karna, basically. So yeah, I love Karna. And also, it helps that I'm a Jinako simp who obviously has a very good relationship to Karna too. I think they have a very wholesome little thing going on, so... Man, I love Karna. Good guy. Hero of charity, right? And then what was Arjuna? Hero of the endowed? Was that what it was? I guess maybe the words change depending on the translation, but yeah, something like that. Okay. Whoa, it's Gramps time. Yeah, remember earlier when I said I love Cursed Arm, but I love King Hassan the most? Well, that's an easy one then. Yes, indeed. He's still one of my all-time favorite characters when it comes to FGO as a whole. Like all of FGO. I love this guy. The whole thing that he represents. He's the head of the assassin, known as the Old Men of the Mountain, and he's the Hassan that kills Hassans. He's the Grand Assassin, okay? And the voice, yeah. Oh, don't get me started. And the design, I love it. It's amazing. It's so good. Still love the MP as well. Like I love everything about this guy. Everything, every single thing about this guy. And he was amazing in both Camelot and Babylonia. And I really hope we get to see him in story again, because whenever he appears, I literally, I like get off from my seat. I'm like, hold up, he's back. So yes, indeed, amazing. Ooh, Kintoki time. Ooh, and this is immediately after. Ooh, this is right after 5.5 on it as well. Oh baby. Oof. I mean, I've always liked Kintoki anyway. From a long time ago. And honestly, Kintoki and Shuten is probably my favorite ship in all of FGO as well, by the way. I love that ship. It's so good. But yeah, I love both characters, but yeah, Kintoki especially, he's so cool. He's one of the biggest bros in all of Chaldea. He really is. And that says so much because there's so many bros in this list. Like, it's hard to... I don't want it to sound like, a discount to the others that are still bros, but man, Kintoki, he's definitely up there. Love this man. I'm gonna place them in the same tier here. I see Rider and Berserker the same way. They're both awesome as hell. I'm on it, dude. I'm so close. I might just do it, honestly. And this is maybe a bit of recency bias as well. Because I already loved Kintoki anyway. And then this is right after finishing 5.5. I love Golden so much, dude. Golden is awesome. Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He's probably my favorite bro. With Ku, he's my favorite bro. Yeah. He's so good. Oh, if I do this again next year, maybe we'll have A+, because this might be recency bias. But yeah, Kintoki was awesome at 5.5. And everywhere he appears. And he does appear quite a bit, which is nice, because, again, always nice to have him around. Golden. We got Kirshtaria next, of the Cryptors. I kind of disliked Kirshtaria mostly, leading up to Olympus, but I think Olympus, I like him now, kind of. I do kind of like him now. I don't love him, but I think he's definitely better in my eyes after Olympus. I didn't really hate him. I think he was like, he was like arrogant, but not in the kind of like amazing way arrogant, like let's say, OG Getia was. He was arrogant in a way that I kind of didn't like it. He was like, oh, this is all going apart. Yo, my tree is gonna be amazing. And she's like, oh, I don't even have to do anything. But yeah, then we saw like what happened with Olympus, and I kind of started feeling for him, I kind of wish we got more of his story as well. There wasn't too much of it in Olympus. I was hoping for more. I wanted to know more about him and his background. But at least we got something. And then, what happened, and yeah. I like him. Now, where would I place him in comparison to Kadok? I'm gonna place him just above, actually. I'm gonna place him in B+ now, after Olympus. So far in this list, I think he's the highest of the Cryptors. Spoiler, it's gonna change, because we still have my favorite Cryptor later in this list, but yeah. He's good now in my eyes. After Olympus. And after I read Trom, maybe I'll bump Kadok. I don't know yet. This is, again, not having read Trom, just like LB1 and some of the other stuff he appeared in, so there you go. Okay, Regent. Okay, when earlier when I was saying, I much prefer Curse Time to Regent, I don't want that to sound like I hate Regent, because I don't. I still love the dude. Well, not love, but I really like the guy. He's awesome, even if he's mostly just a guardian, for the shrine. But also Mickey having voiced him, I love that VA as well. His voice is awesome as hell. And, you know, I like some, you know, Tsuba Megaish. Kind of a cool... I can appreciate cool sword techniques as MPs. I mean, that's a big reason why I like Yagyu so much as well. I can appreciate some nice sword mastery. His fishing pole is, like, massive. I'm not talking about his dick. I'm talking about his sword. So, yeah. Even though I don't like him as much as Cursed Arm, still like him a lot. And I guess he still has more presence than he does. I'm going to place him in A still. But I will place him below Cursed Arm. Do like the Swallow Reversal guy. Best Gate Guardian. Okay. Ooh, Kotaro, huh? Kotaro. Mr. Ninja. I'm kind of sad he wasn't actually in 5.5. Oh well. I think he's kind of a good boy, but that's kind of it. He's a good boy. He's a good lad, you know? Hentai protagonist. Yeah. I think I'm gonna chuck him in this tier with a lot of these good guys that just don't get enough story action, I think. So just below average. He's just a good boy. I don't really love him, though. And I really wish he was actually properly in 5.5, but, you know, what happened, so, eh. Oh well. Yeah. Wish he had a bit more focus. Oh, baby. Okay, we got Kirei. Or Rasputin, whatever you want to say here in FGO standards. I mean, I've always loved the guy. I love this man. I love it. And I really hope he drops to be playable with LB7 as well. I think it's pretty likely, so please. I'm wait. This is the one guy I'm waiting for the most. Come on, dude. I love Kirei. He's like one of those. He's the Douman of Stay Night to me. Like, he's basically evil, but I love him I just love him. I love the guy, dude. Like, he's one of those guys that's easy to love. He's awesome. Also, his Bajik one is awesome because, you know, that's what Lee does as well. And he uses black keys, which is kind of cool. And he has his, you know, Kyrie eleison. Oh my god. This guy's like full of surprises and awesome stuff. And, you know, obviously, much like King Hassan, that amazing Joji Nakata VA. Oh my god, it's literally cooming whenever I hear him talk. So yes, indeed. I like him in Fate Zero. I love him in Stay Night. It's all good, man. Kirei. Sadly, not too much happening in FGO yet, but at least he has all that stuff going for him. Please, playable version soon, please. Yeah, I think his best stuff was in Heaven's Field, though, for sure, yeah. For sure. But I like him in everything. Okay, Lancelots. We got the crazy one and the kind of not so crazy one, the MILF Hunter or whatever. Mr. Gonna Steal Your Girl, or I don't know. I guess he's a DILF, if we think about it. But okay. I will probably place them a bit differently, because they are kind of different in these forms. Lancelot, I don't know, he's like a discount Herc to me at the Berserker variant. They had like a cute interaction with well, not cute, not really. A nice interaction with Arturia in Zero, but besides that, there's not much memorable stuff about. I like the jet scene where, you know, just hijacks a jet and starts blasting because, you know, he's Lancelot, eternal arms mastery. He can make anything a weapon. Is pretty cool, but I still like Herc more though when it comes to the OG Fate story Berserkers that are kind of crazy. It's the same, like, it's this, like, he is what Diarmuid is to Ku, right? He is that to Herc, basically, which is what they're not bad, but I prefer the Stay Night versions of the servants. So in that sense, I'm gonna place Berserker in C+ on average. He's alright, but again, I much prefer Herc. And then when it comes to Seiba, I'm gonna place him in B. I like that he has a bit of a character going on. Because, you know, he's not kind of crazy. And he was kind of okay in Camelot. One of the more reasonable characters, for sure. Not bad. Lancelot, he's alright. I do like Gawain more, though. Okay, Prince of Lan Ling. So mostly remembered from Lost Belt 3, huh? I think he had some nice interactions with Hinako, right? Yeah, not bad stuff. And obviously his relationship to Guchan, by that standard, pretty interesting. He's a very loyal guy, a good guy. And unlike these guys that are also good boys, he at least got a little bit of more story focus, I suppose. And he has a bit of slammable in him as well, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna lie. I still prefer Daeon and Stolf, but you know, I mean, there's a bit of it for sure, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna place the Prince of Lan Ling in B+, just below Daeon. But he's not bad at all, both as a character and kind of as, you know, something that probably would slam. Okay. Man, this is actually going slower than I thought, but you know what? So be it. Leonidas, dude, I really like this guy. I like Leonidas so much. Especially, dude, Babylonia anime. I already liked him in the game, but I think the anime actually did the scenes much better. Holy crap. Holy crap. Dude, Molon Labe. One of the most memorable things for me in part 1 story. Like, that scene with everyone versus Gorgon. I either think about the cool Ushi stuff or Leonidas' MP and just fucking hold the line, dude. He's just fucking blocking that shit. The fucking blocking. Oh my god, it's so good. And then the petrification. He's like, right until the very end, this man protect. And he's such an awesome drill sergeant as well, because he was training all the troops as well. He was just so lovable as a guy. He's hype. He's like your hype man. He's like he's gonna motivate you. He's that guy. And then when you know he needs to step up, he will step up. And yeah, it's a damn crime we still don't have an animation update for this guy. I'm placing Leonidas in A+. I think he was one of the most memorable things for me in Babylonia. I'm placing him in the same tier as the Gilgameshes. I'm actually doing it. I love this guy. Also voiced by Mickey, like Regendis. Awesome VA as well. Come on, dude. Animation update like it was 5 years ago. Please, right now. Do it. Awesome guy. He's just so hype. Okay, we got Lev Lainur. Okay, does anyone like this guy? I don't. He fucking sucks, dude. He's such a tool, man. He's such a tool. Such a tool, man. Like, what a loser. He was even shitty in the Solomon movie, man. Like, oh my god, I hate this guy. he's like the necessary evil that has to be there to like start the evil stuff in the story, but man, so forgettable. So forgettable. Like, just give me, like, they should have just immediately shown Solomon or like something else. Like, he's just a demon pillar. Who cares about this guy? He sucks. You know what? Yeah, honestly, I feel bad for Eric. I feel bad. Okay, I kind of feel bad for Eric. Okay. I feel really bad for Eric. So, you know what? The color matches him. Kinda, with his hat. So there you go. It's like piss. Alright. There's Lev Lainur. Okay. I'm surprised I still remember his name. And also, oh yeah, I think a lot of people also hate him is because, you know, he kind of killed Olga Marie as well. So, you know, kind of has a lot of haters because of that as well. Okay. Anyway, ooh, the Lees. Oh, we got the Lees. Oh, I mean, if you know anything about me, again, you know this was gonna happen. I love both young and old Lee. He's best boy. He's just such a good boy. He's a good boy. And then the old man is such an awesome like teacher. I love everything about Lee. Just everything. Again, if you want to hear proper reasonings, go watch my like Why I Grailed JP edition. I go a bit more in depth there, but yeah, I just love Lee, man. Old man Lee is still one of my favorite servants in all of FGO, but I also love the young one. Godspear Lee is all good. No second strike indeed. The Loobster. yeah, so we're back to these berserkers that there's not much going on with the ones that don't talk. He gets a bit of bonus points for being an extra, I suppose, but even then, he didn't really do any. He was just kind of there. Because he doesn't talk, man. I feel they did him dirty. It's Lu Bu. Like, I don't even know too much about Chinese history, but I know about Lu Bu. So I was kind of shocking that this is the servant we got, you know? It's kind of, I think they did him kind of dirty. I can't give him too many points for the extra thing, though. I'm gonna place him in D+, because I feel like he should be just above Darius, though. Just above, a plus above Darius, okay? But yeah, he was done kind of dirty. They should maybe make like an SSR version or something. Yeah, Rider SSR Lu Bu. And make him ride red hair as well, that'd be funny. Actually, no, don't. Then it would be just a comedic character, but you know, anyway. Would be funny. Maybe one of the Ascensions is like that. Okay. Anyway, then we got, what's his name again? Makarios, right? Adele's brother, I believe. Okay. From Olympus. I placed Adele pretty high because she's pretty slammable, but Makarios, I wouldn't necessarily not slam, although, you know, there is something to that as well, I'm not gonna lie. He looks like a twink. What? Anyway, I think character-wise, they were still pretty good. They were pretty good. I think they were a nice addition to the Olympus story. A lot of the times, some of the Lost Belt, you know, NPCs just kind of don't really add too much and are forgettable. But I think both Adele and Mr. Makarios over here, they had a good place in this story. I thought they were nice. I'm gonna place him in average tier. Actually, a good NPC addition. No, above average. Above. B. Oh boy. Dude. People are gonna be mad. But you know what? Oh well. I always expect that anyway. Okay, Mandricardo. We're back to Atlantis. And again, a great addition to the story. Dude, the best part about Atlantis, the allied cast, is the best of everything we have in FGO. Of all the FGO stories, Atlantis had the best supporting allied cast. As like a whole. It's just good. It is really good. I still wouldn't say Mandricardo was like the best thing ever when it comes to the entire allied cast, but he was a great addition though. It's such a weird addition because he's like a nobody king and he joins us in the Greek Lost Belt. Like I remember when he was shown, like people were like, who, he must be a Greek servant, right? And people were making like all kinds of speculations, but then they were like in the reveal stream like, oh, this is Mandricardo, and everyone's like, who? Like literally no one knew who this guy was. He's like a nobody from like the Charlemagne stories, right? Basically like a side character, a minor side character or something like that. But then people read like Atlantis and they're like, oh, I kind of care about this guy now. So yeah, I thought it was kind of a clever move from them. I think on hindsight, I think it was good that they brought in a nobody, because then you had no expectations of him, right? You were just there to see what happens. So he had no like shoes to fill. He wasn't a great Greek hero or anything like that. He was a nobody, and he ended up being a nice nobody. So yeah, great supporting cast member. I'm gonna place him in the 8 here. I do like Yasun a bit more, but you know, he's very nice too. Very cool addition. Okay, then we got Maxwell's Demon, right? Okay, from Gouda 3 or 4? Was it 4? No, it's 3, right? I think it's 3. Same as Mitsuhide, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while. Okay. He's a very interesting character, but there's not much in terms of the FGO side of him, obviously. Would be cool to see him as playable, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Because he's basically he's based on an idea. He's not something that necessarily even exists or ever did, or even from a story standpoint. He's based on an idea, right? I find that kind of fascinating. But that's about it when it comes to Maxwell's Demon from me. Just fascinating. I'm gonna place him in C, just below average. I feel like there's some potential, but I'm not sure if they're ever gonna revisit him again, honestly. Okay. The perpetual motion engine, yeah. Anyway, we got Clown, Mephisto. I guess he falls kind of into the same categories like Jill. He's like a very evil, fun guy. But I don't think he's as evil, fun guy as Castor Jill is, though. I don't think he's the worst, but I don't think he's even close to being on the, better side of characters that are like that. He never really has any impact on the story, yeah. He's just there as like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm usually gonna fight you, and then I'm just gone. He's like Phantom. He and Phantom are like basically the same character. At least in FGO stories. It's nice that he's voiced by Takehito Koyazu, yeah. I like that voice, obviously, but... because it's not the only servant he voices, not even close. I can't really give too many points there. D+. A little bit of evil, a little bit of fun, but that's it. And Takehito Koyasu. Okay. Merlin, the Dig Wizard. Okay. I think a lot of people would place him at the top. I don't think I will, though. I think he's a nice addition, though. He's good to spice things up, and he has a fun character to him as well. A lot of times, he's not very serious at all, actually. He's kind of laid back and just kind of chilling, Especially in summer events. He's like, he doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, I'm just chilling here. I'm just enjoying the mood. I do like Merlin, though. I've always liked him. I've never loved him, though, but I've always liked Merlin. I mean, he's our grand dig wizard. The one that made Arturia king and everything. The king maker. And I do like him on his serious side as well. I'm placing Merlin in A. He's good enough to be an A tier from my list. Do like the guy. Please make more cameos, if anything. Yeah, he's kind of like a big bro as well, yeah. He's like a big brother that just, messes with their younger siblings, kinda, when you think about it. Yeah, the Babylonia part was also pretty cool from him. Really helped in the fight against, words, dude, I'm blanking out here. Why? Tiamat, there you go. So many names today. Anyway, speaking of names, we got Minamoto no Tametomo. That's a tongue twister and a half. Yeah, Mr. Becca. Ushi's uncle, right? I think. Any more knowledgeable people of the Minamoto, the big Genji family tree or whatever? Yeah, definitely related to Ushi though. I do like this guy a lot. He's one of my Grail candidates, but that's mostly just based on his aesthetics and design and, him being a Genji and whatnot. Sadly, again, did not read his story, so we're still lacking on that front. So I can't really place him like at the tippity top necessarily. But I do like this guy a lot. I'm placing Tametomo in EX because I really like him and the way he looks. Cool as hell. And his MP reminds me of Gundam X, the satellite cannon. So, a bit of more biased points there. It's a guy you got lied to. Oh, you were probably thinking of Brit Mart. Or Brito Mart with her Ascension 1. Who has a very similar looking like, outfit. This guy is a guy. And all of his Ascensions are like this. Okay. Then we got Mozart. Same VA as Gilgamesh. Very interesting. He doesn't have that much story presence, does he? Not really. He's just a nice guy, like a supporting character, and that's about it. Does anyone else kind of ship him with Maria as well? Yeah. I kind of do, honestly. Not bad. I feel like if he was released nowadays, he would definitely, be a bit more memorable. But as is, because he is one of those that kind of, just is in one of the earliest singularities. Just not much to remember, honestly. He's just a nice guy, and that's it. I'm going to place him in D+. I'm not even going to place him in the same as D. I mean, at least these nice guys, even though they haven't had too much stuff going for them. Even they still have more stuff than Mozart does. So yeah, I think he has potential, but there's not much to go on with. right now. Alright, here we go. Another EX. Dude, old man finish is so real in this list. Oh my god. I fucking love Yagyu. He's amazing in every sense of the word. Also, I think he is the most realistic looking servant in the entire game, which I think is very cool. He literally looks like a real person. Everything about his design. He's actually what an old samurai would look like. I really like that. I love his design. I love his MP. I love his voice. I love him just being a sword master. He's not even the best of the best. He's just a good guy at, sword fighting. With his Yagyu branch of the Shinkageryu sword school technique. He's a modest guy. Sitting master, there you go, as an added bonus. He's very similar to Lee in that sense. He's like the Lee of swords. Like Lee is, sure, he was like master of Bajikwan, but he's not like the greatest, like, melee combat fighter ever, or even other martial arts, definitely not. He's just excels in one area. He's just a normal guy. I something about that is just really like, interesting to me. Okay, I guess it's time to talk about Mr. Clang Clang, Muramasa. Yeah, he has a lot of fans, huh? For sure. And I haven't even read all his stories yet, obviously, in FGO. But I have a good impression of him from Shimosa and the parts we have seen in the Lost Belts already. He's like he has like the personality of an old man, but obviously he looks like Shirou, which is funny. He talks like an old man, which makes sense. I said earlier, Emiya Archer is still my favorite Shirou phase, but I'm gonna place him in A regardless. I think he's very fun to have around though. I like me some legendary Japanese swordsmith action as well, and his MP is pretty fucking badass. I'm not gonna lie, and I like his variant of the Emiya theme as well. So I do like the guy a lot. But my favorite Emiya face is still OG, Archer. And honestly, Lost Belt 6 maybe will bump this up a little bit more though, hopefully. But this is not having red tat, so who knows? I was even considering B+, but I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, you know what? I can put him into A. Yeah, I can put him into A. Okay, then we got Naga Yoshimori. Like, he's a berserker that's definitely crazy, but he's not insane. He's like the crazy, he's like, he loves fighting and shit. He goes crazy and ape when it comes to fighting. Otherwise, he's kind of a reasonable guy that just talks normally and shit. With his shark teeth as well. I kind of like the look of his armor as well. When he has the helmet on. It's a pretty cool design. And his MP makes blood splatter. Yeah, he can be either mad or calm. He's a pretty interesting case for berserkers, I suppose. Usually berserkers are either fully calm or fully mad. He's like kind of both. He's not like completely calm ever or completely mad, so he's like balancing it out. And I still like basically all Gura servants as well. They're basically my favorite events in the game. So he's certainly not an exception when it comes to fun characters. I'm gonna place Mori in B. He's not among my favorites when it comes to Gura characters, but I liked him in Gura 4 for sure, and I think he wasn't in Gura 5 at all, was he? I don't think so. But I'm sure he's gonna appear in some of the future ones still. They usually bring back a lot of the Gura characters, even if they're not in main roles anymore, which is cool. 4 more rows. We got more Bara now. Napoleon. So besides LB2, again, not much to go on with. But honestly, he was still a main ally in LB2, so it's not like it's nothing. He still had a considerable, amount of story in that Lost Belt, for sure. I think my favorite moment with Napoleon wasn't like his epic MP moment. It was when he first appeared. When we were like fighting like Valks and shit. He was like into protecting. He's like, then he just comes. He's like, hey, I'm here now. And I'm blasting. It was like so surprising and sudden. But it was kind of cool. That kind of left an impression on me. And then yeah, he's a charming guy, isn't he? For better or worse. He's definitely, kind of a, ladies' man, even though, I'm sure the artist will have a different opinion because of his Bara design, but yeah, it is what it is. At least that's the intention of the character. And I kind of thought the thing he had going with fuck, what's her face? I'm blanking out here again. Is it Olivia? Fuck, no. What's her name? Ophelia. Ophelia. Fuck. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Ophelia. I thought they had kind of a cute thing going on, even though it was mostly one-sided. But, you know, I like his tenacity anyway. He's not really French, he's Italian. Well, yeah, that's cool, I suppose. Because he was born in, like, Corsica, right? I think. Yeah, okay. I'm placing Napoleon in above average as well. I like the dude. I wish he had a bit more besides LB2 stuff, but at least his role in LB2 still was significant, so... Cool guy. Cool moments. Charming. Okay, then we got Nemo. One of the latest additions to the NA side. The captain himself and all the marines. I like the servant concept. Him, like, making a bunch of, like, you know, partitions, clones, whatever you want to call them, of himself. That are, like, fully sentient. But still the same servant. It's an interesting little thing. I think he's a good main ally cast member. Not like my favorite, but I think he's kind of cool. I like when we got to know more about him specifically in LB4 as well. And he was pretty cool in Imaginary Scramble, because he was obviously a main character there. Another B, I would say. Above average. Now it's Tesla time. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to Edison and Tesla, I much prefer Tesla. I have a big respect for this guy, because I used to study, like, engineering myself, and we had a lot of physics courses and shit, and, you know, he obviously had a big impact on the world of electricity and shit, so I respect the man. I think his design is pretty cool. He's basically what, you know, a human Zeus would look like, I suppose. That's also what he aspires to be. And I love his animation update as well. It's so cool. It's one of the... His peak animations for an SSR these days. Is so nice. I think he's very cool. In my list, Tesla is A tier. I love this guy. He's cool. Very, very cool. I might grill my JP version as well, honestly. Cool, man. Okay. Nobukatsu. And I guess we have, it's Kipposhi, right? Ascension 2 of Mao. Okay. Interesting. Definitely different characters, though. I mean, I'd probably place Nobukatsu inside the slammable tier as well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being honest here. But as a character, he's very one-dimensional, because he basically just, all he does is, you know, whatever his sister says, and, you know, just simps for her. But honestly, LB5 improved on that, at least, because they kind of knocked some sense into him. Like, you know, you can think for yourself as well, right? I like that. If this was before reading LB5, I wouldn't really place him much besides being slammable. But I think he got some development in Gouda 5 for sure. He's not just like, you know, just do whatever Big Sister says anymore. He can maybe do some, you know, own thinking as well. I am placing Nobukatsu in B+. Because he has slammability and because of the character development in Gouda 5. What do you mean LB5 equals Gouda 5 for me? What do you mean? What? I'm confused. I am talking about the correct event, right? This is the Himiko one, Gouda 5. Anyway. The Kipposhi then. There's not much to say here. I wouldn't really smash. Oh, did I say LB5? I'm stupid. Okay, I meant Gouda 5. Okay, I'm just stupid. Okay, anyway, Kipposhi. I wouldn't slam Kipposhi like I would with Nobukatsu. So there's no that points. Also, not much story either, is there? Because they had all the Mao Ascensions in the Gouda 4, but because they had all of them separately, they couldn't like individually get too much stuff going on. So, I don't know. There's not much to go on with here. I think the Ascension is kind of cool, but besides that, of all the Nobus, I'm not really that interested. Below average. C tier. Cool though. Ooh, it's Oberon time, huh? Okay. Alright. I mean, to me, Oberon is probably EX tier, yeah. Even before I read LB6. I just really love the dude. I don't know what it is about him. He just interests me so much, man. So much. And I'm one of the rare people that actually prefers his first two ascensions over the more edgy one of the third one. Which I know why it is, but yeah, I prefer the first two ascensions myself. I like the kind of a more wholesome Oberon thing going on. But I don't mind the third ascension either. I just prefer the first two. He's definitely a Grail candidate for my NA server side. Awesome guy. Can't wait to read LB6. Odysseus. I almost kind of want to say wasted potential, but I think they did him fine. But I feel like in Atlantis, he was kind of meh. He was just kind of meh. He was like a mid-boss. That's it. I expected him to be, you know, more significant. If anything, I think his better story was in the Circe event, the Kirke, you know, the Chaldea boys one. Right? I think he was way better there, if anything. Besides, like even though he had a bigger role in Atlantis, honestly, I think it's not like too much wasted potential. Maybe a little bit. He's a cool character though, still. Although personally, this comes without saying, but I would have preferred if we got like an old man Odysseus instead. I would have liked that. I'm sure that's an obvious take. But yeah. Anyway, Odysseus. He's average to me. He's average, kinda. I do like that we have the helmet costumes now as well, not just for the art, so that's cool, but eh. Ooh, now we got some of my more favorite Gouda characters again. We got Okada, okay. Ooh, Mr. Okadaizo. First of all, love his voice, love his design. He has two different outfits as well, and all his ascensions normally look very different too. Although I'm a big advocate for Ascension 1. I love the simple style. The vagabond look he has going for him. His MP is cool as hell. He's the manslayer. He's very cool. A+. I really like this guy. I might grail my JP version as well. Very nice. And then we got Super Chad. I mean, if you know me, then you know I love this guy. He was my favorite part of Atlantis. Definitely a biased reason, but you know what? That's why this list exists. Is meant to be biased as a motherfucker. Also, in terms of Okada, I have not read Redline yet, but I just love him because of Gouda stuff already. But yeah, Super Chad, love this guy, love everything about him. Also, Kanna Nobutoshi, same VA as cool. Love that voice too. Just all around big Giga Chad energy. Awesome. My favorite archer in the game. Then Ozymandias. We got Sunny Boy number 2. We got Gawain earlier. I do like Ozzy too. He's kind of a nice version of an arrogant character because it's warranted. I like arrogant characters when you know they can afford to be arrogant, and he absolutely can. He's a mighty pharaoh, right? And he's powerful as Dix too. He's the king of kings, right? Yeah, he's gonna fucking drop a pyramid on that ass. He gets decapitated. Doesn't matter. It's Ozzy, baby. He's cool. I'm gonna place him in the same tier as Gawain, I think. Both Sunny Boys in B+. Good civ. Alright. We got the Paracelsus. Or Paracelsus. Get it? Oh. He really doesn't have much going on with him. Even after 5.5, which gave him another spot, like, He was like the most... He was probably the least memorable character there too. He's such a plain character, right? Yeah. Just a plain character. He is voiced by Mickey as well, though, which is kind of cool, but... Just... There's really no memorable scenes with this guy, honestly. D tier. Just avoiding Eric tier. Barely. Alright, Paris. So we got the sibling of Hector. The killer of Achilles, huh? Friends with Apollo, who is a sheep in FGO because of reasons. Kind of cutesy, I guess. I was never really that big of a fan. They were okay in Atlantis, but definitely not among the highlights, because there were so many other things to highlight from Atlantis instead, in my opinion. You thought Paris was a girl until LB5? I'm sure a lot of people did, yeah. And I don't blame you. It's like you can't really tell easily. I don't know. Paris to me, D+. Cutesy, but and kind of fun in Atlantis, but nah, Okay. Wow, more NPCs. We got Pachi, and this is where opinions will differ a lot. I know a lot of people will immediately put him in E because of the way he looks, but not me. I thought he was one of the best NPC characters we've had so far. Absolutely. He was a big reason why LB1 was pretty good. I like this guy. I kind of wish we had a playable version. Call me furry if you want, but, you know, I like this guy. I'm placing Pachi in A tier, honestly. Think he was a very vital part of the story, and it really made LB1 a lot better. Especially that one scene where he truly, you know, puts some weight behind our decisions. You know exactly which scene I'm talking about. Really sticks to your mind. Good character, good NPC, one of the best ones we've had. And then here we go, my favorite cryptor. We got Pepe. I don't know what I love this guy. I'm actually gonna put Pepe in EX. I fucking love this guy. I don't know what it is about. He's just something about him, dude. He's by far my favorite cryptor, dude. He's amazing. Also a very good character arc for him as well. Ever since LB4, I've just loved this guy, dude. He's so good. He's so good, man. Oh man, can't wait. Can't wait for some more stuff. But yeah, no spoilers. This guy is amazing. Amazing expressions as well, by the way. Like, how can you not love the laugh? It's so good. Best cryptor. Okay. Then we got, ooh, Percy. Well, I have some newfound appreciation for Percy, if you were around when I was doing lottery farming for JP recently. Sadly, I still don't know too much about him, like, story-wise. I have an okay understanding of his character, I suppose, based on, you know, his VA lines and whatnot, but story-wise, I don't really know too much. But I'm sure he's just gonna be one of those good, you know, bro knight types again, right? He has to. He definitely has to be. But yeah, I'll probably shouldn't give him too many points on a list like this just because his gameplay was good to me. But you know what? I kind of like him now, yeah. I'm placing Percy in B+. Maybe a bit of a recency bias as well, but you know what? Hey, Percy is good civ, man. And he goes, whoa, with his MP, yeah. It's pretty nice. Okay. Oh, we got Phantom next. Oh, no. So where did I place, who was it? Okay, so Mephisto is here. They're either going to be the same or Phantom is going to be one lower. I think they're going to be the same. Phantom was okay in Summer 5 and in, whatchamacallit? Fate Requiem event. That's the only reason he's not, like, bottom tier. They're like, of all the funny evils, they're like on the bottom side, but at least they have that going for them, right? It's not a totally lost cause as a character. So that's why I'm putting both Mephisto and Phantom over there. But besides the occasional funny evil side character thing, there's not really anything else. First Emperor, okay. So Mr. King of LB3, or I guess they're they, the royal we, okay. Qin, however you say that. Shi Huangdi, Qin Shi Huang, and many other titles. Shikote in Japanese. Interesting case. Also voiced by Fukuyama Jun, right? Mr. Lelouch himself. Kinda crazy. Very fitting though. I think a lot of people do like him a lot, but I'm not sure how much I like him personally. He was an interesting king, Lost Belt king, I would say, though. How's my throat right now? Well, I've been taking cough drops, so, you know, I'm managing, I suppose. I'm gonna place the first Emperor in B tier. I think they are above average, but yeah, not among my favorites though. Good MP theme as well, I suppose. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of memorable, but not like something I think about or someone I think about all the time. Ooh, Rama. Okay, well, at least this is not a gameplay list because he could use more love there. All right, so we got another king servant, huh? King without his girl. Throws a Destructo disc nowadays. Channels his inner Krillin, except at least Krillin gets a bitch. He doesn't. Sad. So he has had some story appearances, most notably the America Singularity and Lost Belt 4. But in neither he was like really like memorable, honestly. I would say, at least not to me. I don't know. I've never really been a huge fan of Rama. Like, there's many other Indian servants I like a lot more, like Karna, for instance, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm putting him in the nice guy tier below average. You know, he has had decent story coverage, but nothing that really sticks to my mind. He's okay. Yeah, he's a nice team player, but that's it. We got the one, Mr. Red Hair, or Lubu as he calls himself. At least this one talks. Definitely a comic relief servant. Through and through, just a comic relief servant. Not a terrible one, though. Even though they usually just do carrot jokes and stuff like that. And Lubu jokes. It's not bad, though. I'm placing him in D+. Very similar to, like, Edison. Kind of fun comic relief, but very, very like one-dimensional in that sense as well. Like Edison is just banter with Tesla, and then, you know, his is like carrot jokes and Lubu gags. So that's about it. Fun, but one-dimensional. I guess we have Rengoku on this list as well, huh? Okay. Because we do have a playable costume for Rengoku now as well, for Okita Alter. An interesting case for sure. Gives me very mixed feelings. Like, it's one of my all-time favorite waifus, but then they take off the tits and it's a guy. So I don't really know how to feel about it. I kind of like Rengoku either as a sword or as like a cutesy little side thing with the summer Okitan thing. But this one, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm still trying to process this, honestly. I don't really have a good opinion about like Okita Alter version of Rengoku yet. Even the eyes are kind of creepy to me, the black, you know, pupils and stuff. I mean, it's still like an Okita kinda. I don't know. I'm gonna go B+ for now because I have so mixed feelings. I need more time to process this. It's still too soon. Okay, Robin Hood. I have read, again, his portions in Extra and CCC, so I have a better understanding of Ya Boy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. And he has a very interesting relationship with BB as well. He always gets like whipped around and shit, I suppose. Not a bad character by any means. But in FGO, he doesn't have much, does he? No. Not much going on. Yeah. He's like nice, but that's about it. Yeah, he's chilling. I'm gonna put him in the nice guy tier as well. I wish he had a bit more focus in FGO. Would be cool. Rolando. Okay. Mr. Nudist. Okay. Again, haven't read Trom. Is this the last of the Trom servants? Maybe it is. I forgot how many. Oh, never mind. We still have one at the end. Okay. Anyway, have not read Trom, but, he's kind of fun, I suppose. Good old naked Roland. But I don't know how much I like him, honestly. I kind of don't really like him too much. At least so far. Without having read the Singularity. Is D plus too harsh? I'm gonna place him in D plus. It's a bit harsh maybe, but okay. Okay. Sorry, Roland. Maybe later. Maybe your time is later for my list. Okay, Romani time. There he is. Now, I know a lot of people love the hell out of this guy. I do like him a lot as well. But maybe not as much as, a lot of the player base do. Obviously, there's a lot of memorable scenes, mostly towards the end of part 1 with this guy. Otherwise, in the other Singularities, he was just kind of another voice in the intercoms. Like, nothing for you to remember. He was just, like, there to guide you and whatnot. He mainly just pops off towards the end of part 1. But I guess all that stuff is pretty memorable after all, yeah. And he kind of left behind, like, a void that's kind of hard to fill, So, yeah, A+. For me, he's not EX. I wish he had a bit more memorable moments in the other parts of part 1 as well, besides towards the end. But yeah, obviously, I still like the guy. Just a bit lacking there. Even if, yeah, the end of, Solomon stuff, yeah, is memorable. But, yeah. He had a bit, because he mostly, in the other parts, he was just like a joke character, kinda. He was like, oh, he was getting roasted for his, like, idol simping and stuff. That was like, okay, whatever. But then they got really serious at the end. I wish it was a bit sooner than that. But obviously, I guess they wanted to keep it for this big surprise. But maybe they could have done other serious stuff anyway. That wasn't like hinting towards, about him and stuff. But yeah, he's still very nice. Okay. Also, I realized Gordolf is not in this list, right? Is Copy watching? Do you want to hot patch him in? I think Gordolf should be here, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on for now. Okay, we got the couple of Romas. We got the Grand Lancer and then the not-so-Grand Lancer, who also doesn't even have divinity. Like, what the fuck? This is still the, holy progenitor. What the actual hell? Why does this guy not have, like, divinity EX? What the fuck? Anyway. So, I will rate, Grand Lancer a bit higher, because I loved the sequence he had. Even though his part in, he wasn't there for too long in Olympus. Man, I was pogging hard. I was pogging so bad when he arrived, and it was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna place Grand in A, and I'm gonna place OG in B. No, C+. Average. But yeah, I love Grand. Grand is cool. It's such a memorable moment. And I love his design too. This one actually looks real amazing. And he kind of speaks like a more normal person as well. Lancer is just kind of, I think every other word that comes from, 3-star Lancer's mouth is just the word Roma. So, sometimes it's a bit one-dimensional. But, he still likes his country, obviously. Makes sense. Then we got a couple of Sakamotos. We got the Rider and the Lancer. Probably gonna rate them the same here, honestly. I'm not sure what I did with Oreos in the waifu list, I forgot. I'm hoping they were similar or the same, but yeah, I'm probably gonna rate these the same, honestly. Because I haven't read Gouda 6 yet. Yeah, I do like him among the Gouda characters as well. And I like his, little duo thing with Oreo-san as well. I think they're a nice couple. They got a real nice dynamic. You know what it actually reminds me of nowadays? Because I'm watching Chainsaw Man. It reminds me of that. It almost reminds me of like a Chainsaw Man relationship. Because, I didn't know about how that stuff worked before. But now I watch the anime, so... Just a little thing I wanted to mention, I guess. Pretty cool. Oh, is Gordolf at it? I'll refresh after I play Sakamoto. Where should I place Mr. Ryoma, Mr. Detective? Part of the Meiji Restoration period after the fall of Edo. Oh. B+ for B. Fun character. Definitely good civ. Good couple as well. Alright, let's see. Is Gordolf added now? Yeah, he is. You know what? We'll leave Gordolf for last. Fuck it, dude. Because we already passed G's log. I'm just gonna do him last, okay? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Anyway, then we got more Gura stuff. We got Saito Hajime. Another Shinsengumi member. He's definitely not like... I don't love him as much as like Okitaro Hijikata, for instance. We even have K-Escalator. But I do like Saito. Especially after reading Gura 5. He's a cool, normal guy. That just likes to, fight with swords. And, motivated memes, I guess. I kind of wish he had a better haircut in the Shinsengumi Ascension, I'm not gonna lie. I wish he did like a ponytail or something in the 3rd Ascension. That would be fucking cool. His ragged hairstyle, I don't know what it is about. I'm just being honest here. I love the I'm still gonna use 3rd Ascension because I'm a Shinsengumi simp. But I don't know, the hair just kind of doesn't do it for me. I wish he had like a ponytail or something. But yeah, he's cool. I'm still placing Saito in A because I'm a Shinsengumi simp, for sure. And also a bit of recency bias because Gura 5 wasn't even that long ago on NA. Okay, Salieri time. The guy that absolutely hates Mozart. He was cool in LB1 though. They kind of did like a nice turnaround with him. Like that fucking piano scene, the Izirai, however you pronounce that. Oh my god. I still remember that. It still sticks to my mind, that scene. Is so cool. And I wish we get like an anime out of that. I want them to do Lost Belt 1 just because we would get that scene. It would be so epic, dude. Oh my. That he starts playing the piano and then Avicebron and his golem start fighting Ivan. Oh, I can already see it, dude. I want to see that animated. With the music and everything. Oh. Besides that, he's kind of an edgy guy, I suppose. He just lives on hate. Not really a nice guy either, honestly. He's not a completely evil guy, but he just kind of fuels on hate, I suppose. And jealousy. I'm gonna place him in C+, just average. He does get points from that really memorable scene, but as a character, I'm not like the biggest fan. But I do like him a lot more than Mozart for what it's worth. 2 more rows, okay. Then we got Sanson. He got some bonus points from Salem, right? Yeah. I don't think he was very memorable from Orleans, right? But he was actually not bad in Salem, I would say. Yeah, Requiem, though, was kind of weird. He was kind of weird. I kind of agree. Requiem for him wasn't that great, but Salem, at least. Not bad, honestly. He was a good supporting character in Salem. So he's a pretty good boy. And he kind of regrets his deeds anyway, so, you know, he's not really like super evil. He was just the one, you know, dropping the blade, I guess. I'm actually placing him in C plus as well. Mostly because of Salem. But yeah, he's a nice guy. I wish his gameplay was better though. It sucks. It's so terrible. He's one of the worst servants in the whole game, but yeah. Oh well. At least he's a fun character. Oh yeah, it's some more characters. Oh shit. Okay. We can probably do those. Okay. Because I know those two. Okay, we got Serizawa next. Another NPC from Gouda 5. Now, honestly, I hated him for the most part in Gouda 5. But at the end, I kind of didn't. I kind of didn't hate him anymore. Because the way he, you know, kept his reasoning and whatnot, he was like, no regrets, dude. That's the path he chose. And he was like, okay with it and shit. And if they ever add him as a servant, I wouldn't really be mad. Because that's another Shinsengumi character to have then as well. I still wish that he wasn't, like, for the most of Gouda 5, like, kind of annoying. Because he kind of was. Just, you know, not very, you know, likable. The end redeemed him a little bit, but besides that, yeah. I'm gonna place him in D+, because I'm still kind of simping for him. Because of the end and Shinsengumi, but of all the ones, he's definitely the lowest of the Shinsengumi guys. Okay. Shakespeare. In terms of FGO, there's not much, but he was an interesting, you know, servant in APOC, huh? He was like just someone that was there. He didn't really want to do fighting. He's just like, you know, writing a story, keeping records and shit. He was an author there as well. I kind of like that as his character. Yeah, I'm sure you would know Hamlet. Yeah, funny. No pun intended. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I kind of like Shakespeare. He's a nice guy. I like the author thing as well. I think I prefer Hans a little bit more though. But you know, he's very similar in that sense. So if Hans was what, B, I think. I'm gonna play Shakes in C plus then. There you go. Shakes is alright. Sherlock time, another big character, huh? Okay. Definitely a big character when it comes to FGO story, especially in the second half. So, yeah. How much do I like Sherlock? I do like Sherlock, though, for sure, yeah. His interlude was really good, too, honestly. If you haven't read it, you should. It's kind of relevant as well. Pretty damn good stuff, I would say. I'm not sure if I would place him at EX, though, honestly. Yeah, he was Sakuga, yeah. Let's see, Sherlock. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna place Sherlock in A myself, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna place him in A for now. Might change in the future, but yeah, I think he's a great, you know, main cast ally member thingy, whatever you want to call it. Very good to have around. Adds, basically always adds to this story, right? Which I like. He's never like annoying. I like his input. Alright, next up we got Shibata, another NPC. Mostly appears in Gouda 4, right? Yeah, Gouda 4. He was also the challenge quest, okay. So he's like the uncle of Cha-Cha, right? Was that correct? And he's a big friend of Nobu as well. Like a fellow warrior. I do like him. I like his design as well. He's like a big guy. I wish that we had a playable servant as well. And yeah, he's definitely a good guy as well. There's not that much to go on with though, is the sad thing, because he's only appeared in from some Gouda stuff, and even then he wasn't like the main thing in any of the events. He was kind of just there, doing his thing. But I still like him. I always like, you know, Shibata. On my list, he goes into C+. Yeah. Even though there's not much to go on with, I like the guy. Oh, then we got some Siegs and Siegfrieds and the Sigurds and etc. Okay, starting with Sumanai. In FGO, there's not much, right? Not really. I guess Trom will maybe fix that a little bit, but again, I haven't read Trom, so it is what it is. In APOG, not much either if you know how APOG goes. Something to do with the next servant, I suppose, but oh well. He's okay, and he's also voiced by Suabe, which is cool, I suppose. He's kind of sad, in a sense. I'm placing Sumana in D+ on my list. It is what it is. And then Sieg, well, I guess Eric has a friend now. Okay. I don't like Sieg. I know it's maybe honestly, he wasn't even terrible when it comes to like the APOC event we had in FGO. Like if this was just FGO standards, I would probably place him a bit higher. But I can't forgive him for APOC. I can't. It's always in my mind when Sieg just happens. Is the only thing I can think about. APOC could have been such a much better story if Sieg wasn't the main focus. I'm kind of mad still. So whatever, dude. It is what it is. Anyway, Sigurd though. Oh, so back when Sigurd released in JP when Lost Spell 2 released, I was like, I don't really care too much. He's just there, okay. But when NA release happened, I read the story and whatnot. And then I also came to appreciate, you know, Mr. Fucking Tsuda Kenjiro more as well. Amazing voice. Yeah, I got a lot of new interest to this guy. I also like the design of Ascension 1 with the mask on and everything. It's a bit edgy, but not like super edgy. I like the color scheme with the black and the red as well. I like that he punches like mini swords. He's a cool guy. And I kind of think he's pretty cute with Bryn as well, honestly. I think Sigurd is nice. I'm placing Sigurd in B+. He's very good, Civ. Should she go down in this list? Well, he's never really been in FGO besides the craft essence, so no. Okay. Ooh, Solomon also in the list, huh? I don't know how to feel about Solomon, honestly. I don't know, because I'm not gonna rate him like has raw money, basically. Oh my god, you keep adding shit, copy. Oh my god, dude. Who the fuck is Ajay, by the way? Is this someone I don't know? Who the fuck is that? Oh, it's the guy from LB4. Okay, well, okay. I forgot his name. Okay. Yeah, so I guess that's gonna say how much I'm gonna, you know, appreciate that guy. Okay. Honestly, probably wasn't a necessary addition, but okay, we'll add him as well. Dude, you're never gonna let me finish this list, are you? But okay. I see how it is. Anyway, Solomon. Back to Solomon. Dude, I might honestly like, I think I might like, Getia more than Solomon. I think. I'm just gonna place him in like C+. Maybe even C, honestly. Yeah, maybe a bit harsh, but I think mostly it was memorable because of Romani and Getia, if anything. So Solomon himself was like, He's the demon pillar guy, just that's it. Cool design though. Hey, Oscarl, Carl, dude, my voice is dead. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back to the Cow Gang. Did you wait with your resub until this moment? I see how it is. Alright, Sparty. He's cool, especially after LB3. He had a really big moment, and it was really cool. You know it's a big moment when they even give him a CG. You know shit is about to go down. Pretty cool stuff, man. He's a very determined guy, isn't he, right? Yeah. He lives for one purpose, and that is to stop oppression. That's it. That's his whole purpose of existing at all. So, you know, determination. He's got it. Let's see. Spartacus. Not too much amazing or memorable stuff in the first part, but, you know, LB3 was still pretty cool. I'm putting him in C+ because of LB3, basically. Basically because of that. Yeah, I guess he had the suit in Summer 5 as well, which was kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, okay. Cool little moment. Then we got Taikobo, Chinese, you know, self-proclaimed Grand Caster as well, I guess. But as a writer in the game. The Chinese Merlin. Mr. Fishing Rod guy. He's interesting, I suppose. Haven't read Tunguska, obviously, so I don't know how he really kind of is in FGO besides, you know, his voice lines and shit. Seems like a fun guy, though. A mushroom, if you will. Get it? And because I sadly am not too familiar with, like, you know, Chinese history and lore and shit, so I don't really know him much at all. Apparently he is like the Chinese equivalent to Merlin, though, or something like that. But personally, don't really have that knowledge. This might be one of those unfair placements again, but I'm placing him in C for now. Maybe improves in the future. Probably, but yeah. I don't have much to go on with here. Besides, like, you know, he's kind of interesting, cool, and has a nice design, etc. Besides that, yeah. Don't got anything else. Then we got Tai Sui, the Chinese alter ego from the Trunk Sisters event. Yeah, mini Douman, at least in gameplay, I guess, or something like that. He has the adult form as well, right, with the MP and stuff. So I guess he has kind of 2 different looks. A kid and then, I don't know, a teen. I don't know what to call the other look. No idea about him otherwise as well. I've never even heard of him before FGO. And again, I haven't read his event, so... I mean, he does have a bit of a trap look to him, though. But, you know, besides that... C for now as well. Mostly because, you know, a bit of a trap look. I'm talking about the MP thingy. Okay. Anyway, we got Tota. Honestly, he doesn't really gain that much points from 5.5 in my eyes. Minor spoiler, I guess. But in Camelot, he was nice. But definitely not one of the most memorable things, not by any means. They probably still should have included him in the movie, because apparently they didn't. At least that should have been done, but yeah. Like, Camelot was full of memorable stuff. He's not, like, up there with the most memorable things. But, you know, he's... I like the guy, though. I like that he chucks, like, you know, barrels of rice and shit. It's something about that, it's just kind of fun. Besides that, I can't really think of too much nice stuff to say. I'm gonna place him in D+. Is maybe harsh, but cool guy, but don't have too much to go on with personally here. Okay. We have Tokiomi because he was actually in Saber Wars too. We got Rin's Papa. I guess I could consider a bit of Fate Zero as well here. Not that there's much. There wasn't really like anything really to say too much about him in Fate Zero, honestly. At least in my opinion. He's a cool and composed, you know, mage. And then, you know, in Saber Wars 2, I guess he was an okay dad. Even though he wasn't really around too much. Just like videotapes and shit. Yeah, Space Tokyomi, I would honestly say is better Civ than Fate Zero one, but I don't know. In neither case, I'm not a huge fan, honestly. And I hate his C as well, because of Gacha. Yeah, I don't know. Tokyomi to me is like D tier. I don't really care for the guy, honestly. Eh. I don't think he's garbage, but I don't really care for him either. Okay. Tristan. So in FGO stuff, he's mostly like evil because of Camelot, right? Even though he's definitely not evil otherwise. Kind of got the same thing as Gawain, but unlike Gawain, he doesn't have too much stories otherwise because he like at least Gawain has like extra and CCC to paint him a bit better. Tristan, not much stuff, huh? Not too much stuff with him. And I kind of really hated him in Camelot because of the Hassan scene. I kind of really hated him at that point, I'm not gonna lie. So that kind of sticks to my mind when I see Tristan. I don't think he's bottom tier just because I hate him because of that one scene, but I don't really like him too much either, to be honest. He's D tier to me, which again may be harsh, but yeah. I hate him because of that Hassan scene. Okay. Then we got Extra Vlad, who I'm actually kind of keen on. He's kind of different compared to Berserker, who's going to be the next one. He's a real bro. He's a big bro, man. I think he's one of the only servants in the game, if not the only one, that refers to the master as their friend. They don't call them really like master too much or anything like that. They say like Tomoyo. Waga Tomoyo. He just considers the player to be like a good friend of theirs, which I always find very wholesome. Now, Vlad is a good uncle, but my favorite best uncle is still Caligula. But I still do like Vlad as well. Now, which one do I like more? Extra or Berserker? I think I like Extra more, honestly. I think I do, yeah. So I would place Extra in like... I'm placing him in A, which may be surprising, because I actually really like the guy. And then I'm going to place Berserker in B+. Not much of a difference, but I do like the Extra one more, honestly. Vlad's a pretty good Civ. Interesting guy. Yeah, the wholesome impaler. Kinda. Okay. Voyager. Okay, time for the V. I guess we already started with Vlad, but okay. Voyager. I like the concept behind the servant, at least. I'll say that much. It's a very interesting thing. It's so different to the usual stuff. It's literally a thing launched into the space in the modern era. Like, how different is that to everything else in Fate? The MP is awesome, yeah, I do agree with that. He literally is a representation of the hopes and dreams of the modern society of humanity, which is pretty pogging. Don't really like his voice too much, sad to say. Design also not my favorite. But I like him. I still like him though. How would I place him though? This is a tough one. I would place Voyager above average, but I'm not getting completely like, amazed by him in like any particular way. There's many things I like about him though, but not like, anything that I think he's like, oh, that's just amazing. Yeah, sure, Yuri. Alright, the line. At least for now. We're starting with Tsuna, huh? Watanabe Tsuna. One of the latest servants in FGO. And now I have also read 5.5, so I kind of know what's up. He was kind of how I expected him to be. Maybe a bit better than my expectations, but nothing still like amazing. I do like him more now, for sure. Not that I had like super high expectations to begin with. He was like just a bit better than what my expectations were. Still like nowhere near Kintuki to me though, even though they're like fellow Genji, like, you know, 4 Heavenly Kings to Raiko and etc. But Kintuki's definitely, I love him a lot more. Watanabe, he's alright. He's an okay lad, I suppose, at the end of the day. I think I would place him in like I'm gonna place him in C+, because there's not still, I mean, sure, he had quite a bit of stuff in 5.5, but that's it. That's all there is. Kintuki has many events. He was better in 5.5. I love his design voice more. It's like there's a lot more to go on with. He's alright though. Just alright. Oh no, it's waiver time. Okay. Well, honestly, as much as I hate this guy in Gacha, I don't hate him. I kind of like his character though, especially in Case Files. In Fate Zero, Young Waver, well, his interactions with Iskandar, you know, pretty good. But I think Adult Waver is where it shines the most. Especially Case Files, like I just said. He's a nice guy. And he's not very one-dimensional either, honestly. There's a lot of stuff going on in his head, huh? I would actually place Waver in A tier. Which honestly, now that I actually didn't even realize, but Iskandar is there as well. But you know what? Okay, I guess that's fitting. Yeah, I do like him though. Even if I hate seeing him in Gacha regularly. As a character, he's good. He's definitely a good character. And now he gets to be in the same tier as Iskandar. You know what? Yeah, let me slide him here. We're gonna break the alphabetical thing a bit. So there you go. Boom. There he is. Although I guess some of these later editions will also break the alphabetical order, but whatever. Okay. William Tell. I'm one of the people that actually really likes William Tell. Even though, again, yes, his role in Lost Belt 4 wasn't that big. I just like the character myself. He looks like Solid Snake. But yeah, I also... I mean, he kind of has that... I'm not gonna lie, there is definitely a bit of old man energy, which, you know, tickles my fetishes. But even then, I like his laser crossbow thingy. Pretty cool. I like that he uses camouflage as well in one of his attacks. Just overall, he's like a nice standard guy. Mostly because of my old man fetish, though. So that's why I'm probably going to place him higher than most people would, but yeah. For me, William Tell is going to go into B+. Great guy. If anything, I should maybe grail him on JP. I have him already fully maxed there. You know, as is. Fun guy. Ooh, Shan Yu, huh? The horse. Or the other horse, I guess. You know it's a crazy game when you have 2 servants that are literally horses. Okay. Well, at least he talks, so that's good. He's not like a berserker that's just like, roar, 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 roar. Because he kind of looks like a berserker that would just make noises, right? Contrary to his appearance, he's actually a fairly normal guy in terms of personality. So if you've only seen pictures of him, you'd be probably kind of shocked when you hear him talk. Isn't he also a robot? Yeah, he's mechanical, right? I'm pretty sure he would also have the mechanical trait. He's basically like a cyborg robot, horse thingy, whatever. Because, you know, in Fate's version of ancient China, at least in that Lost Belt, they had like, you know, that kind of technology back then. Don't ask questions. It's just how it works. I like him. But how much do I like him? Probably not that much. I like his foresight, because it's kind of OP. Although it does have limitations, I suppose. C tier for me. C for caca. Okay, yeah, a bit of bonus, but not too much. I don't think he was amazing in Imaginary Scramble. He was pretty much very passive, but yeah. There you go. Then we have Mr. Yamanami Keisuke, the last of the the last of the Shinsengumi members in this list. The latest playable addition as well to the game. Now, even though I haven't read his release event, he was obviously quite, relevant in Gouda 5 already as well, so I do know about him. I like him. I might not necessarily like him as, much as like Saito, for instance, but he's probably really close up there for sure, though. So if Saito was like, what was it, A? I think. Or was he B+? I think he's A. I just can't spot him. Oh, he's A. I see him now. I'm probably going to slide Keisuke in B+ then. Because I do like him a lot as well. And again, I'm a Shinsengumi simp, so yeah. Easy points. Alright, Yanqing. I guess this is... Wait, no, this is not the last playable. There's one more playable after this, but yeah, okay. Mr. Fister, the Chinese assassin. Or one of them, rather. There's a lot, actually. I just realized. He's been in some stuff. But I wouldn't say in anything he's ever been very memorable. He just does, like, this guy stuff, pretty much. And then, kind of... That's about it, right? In terms of character. I do like his MP because it reminds me of G Gundam's Shining Finger. I'm sure it's a coincidence, but he's like, Shining Finger. A bit of small bonus points just because it reminds me of that. Design is also not bad. Also, one thing that I really like him. He's the only servant that's voiced by Okamoto Nobuhiko, right? An amazing VA. He was one of my favorite characters of all time in Accelerator from the Tuaru series. I wish he voiced more servants, but yeah, he's the only one he voices. Really, really top VA. Anyway, still not overly, like, a big fan of him. For the aforementioned reasons, I'm probably still gonna slide him into C. But yeah, I wish there was a more reason for me to like him. Yeah, apparently he's very popular in JP. I think it's mostly because of the girls. I think he's extremely popular with girl players. And I can understand why. Like, he's got some extremely nice muscles and, tattoos, I guess, are pretty cool too. So I can understand why. I guess we have two versions of Zeus, right? Should I call this Zete for the memes? I don't know. Why do we have two versions? I don't get it. I will probably place them in the same tier. Although this design is like 10 times better. This looks like shit. I'm not gonna lie. The Zete design is fucking garbage. I hate the way it looks. This one is a Giga Chat design. This one fucking sucks, dude. Goddamn machine god thingy. Okay. Like, how do you go from this to this? Like, talk about a downgrade. It should have been the opposite. It should have been like, I'm just ahead, I'm just zero, and then it turns into fucking Giga Chad. Why was it the opposite? Anyway, Zeus? It's okay. Just okay. I'll place Zeus in C. And I'm gonna place this one just a bit higher because this was the Giga Chad design. They're the same character, but this one looks a lot better. So I'm giving it a plus. Okay. Then we got the last of the playable servants, unless someone was forgotten. And if that's the case, then, rip a bozo, I guess. We got, what's his name again? Zhang Jue? Jiao? I think both are applicable, and I definitely did not pronounce it correctly, but you know what I'm talking about. Old man from Trom, Chinese Castor. Of all the old men in the game, he probably tickles my fetish the least, because I'm not a big fan of his hairstyle and the beard. But there is definitely still some old man fetish for sure. And yeah, I think a lot of people think of the Fire Grandpa from Avatar, right? So when they see him, and I can see kind of why. I can see that, yeah. He's an interesting guy. He has a fun VA as well. Definitely matches his old man looks as well. But he's definitely not like high up there when it comes to my old man fetish. And of course, I still haven't read Troms, so let's see. I'll place him with C+. Old man fetish still gives a lot of points. I think he's cool. And I hope, you know, he's going to be even better once I read the story. I'm going to do Gordy last, actually. So what's this guy's name again? This is from Lost Spell 3? Fuck, I forgot. Anyone remembers? This, like, general guy? The tactician guy? I forgot what his name was. Is it Han Xing? Okay. You can call him Fatty? Wow, toxic. Yeah, his role was kind of tiny, huh? It wasn't really remarkable at all. I don't think there's really anything redeemable. If he had a servant version, maybe there would be something to go on with, but besides that, he was just like a pawn, kinda, for First Emperor. I'll place him in D tier. I don't think he's, you know, trash, but doesn't really add much at all, honestly. Then we got Munier. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know, honestly. It's French, right? Assistant Kun. That always gets roasted. Poor guy. He's an okay addition to the main squad, I guess. Could we do without him? Probably. Would I kind of miss him? Maybe. But, you know, he's kind of okay to have around, I guess. Isn't that you? Wow, okay, dude. Mm-hmm. I'll place Munier in C. He's just kind of fun to have around, just to, you know, roast someone here and there. But besides that, he's not really necessary for anything, to be honest. He's just there. He's happy to be around. Okay. Then we got Agravain. He's a guy, alright. Kinda edgy, not gonna lie. Angry man. He was like, what, first in command to the Lion King in Camelot or something, more or less. That's at least how it felt. He's like, I don't know what to feel about Agravain, honestly. There wasn't that much to go on with, because he still doesn't have a playable version, which kind of hurts here, I think. If he had a playable version, I'd probably place him a bit higher. I'll place him in D+. I think it was good that he was there in Camelot, but that's pretty much it, honestly. Just cool that he was included, I guess. And then, what was this guy's name again? Ajay or something? The dad from LB4? Should I treat this as the whole family with the small kid as well? Because they're not included here? Because as is, the guy, I mean, he was kind of a dick at first, from what I remember, but I guess, you know, it makes sense, considering the circumstance and whatnot. And he kind of came around, really, but not too much, right? If anything, yeah, the dog and the girl were more memorable than this guy. The Dateru and the Dogo. I don't know. I'll just place him in D, same as the Chinese guy. Just, yeah, not much impact. Not trash, but barely did anything. And then we got Gordy as we leave the best for last, huh? Okay. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I like Gordy. I like Gordy, actually. I've really come around to liking him. Now, like, here's the thing. I'm sure everyone prefers Romani, right? Probably, even to this day, even though Gordy has had redemption. But here's my counter argument. Like, Romani, in my opinion, was the best when it was, again, near the end of the Part 1 story. Before that, he was mostly comedic relief, and I didn't really care for that. Gordy, yeah, he's got comedic relief as well, but he's already been all this time, ever since LB1. He's been growing and growing, not like, you know, getting more fatter, but like as a character. I think every Lost Belt makes him a better person. I really do. And I like that. I've actually, I started off as like disliking him, and then I was like, okay, whatever, he's there. Then I was like, okay, you know, he's maybe not that bad. And now I'm like, dude, I actually like Gordolf. Oh my god, I actually like the guy. I'm actually placing Gordolf in A+. People are gonna be mad because he's right next to Romani, but I stand by this, dude. I stand by this. They have their own different reasons of being here. Romani, he has the best highs, okay? His highest high, yeah, it's better than Gordolf. I get that. But Gordolf, because we have so much distance with him as well, his other stuff I kind of like more. And honestly, depending on how this ends up, he could just easily end up here. Because it's like I said, every last belt so far is making him more likable in my eyes. Olympus was great for him. Like, Olympus was really good for Gordolf. It was peak Gordy so far, so I'm excited for more, needless to say. Ooh, am I finally done with this list? This ended up actually being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm not even sure if I want to move anything, and I probably don't even need to. Shout out to the Lev Lainur tier. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of disagreements again and whatnot, but hey, let me do like a final placement thing here if people are skipping here to the end. And this is where the people start, because, you know, no one's going to watch this full thing. They're just going to skip here and look at this, and they're like, oh, why did you place this here and this there and this there? And oh, my favorite is not EX. Oh, they never even listen to any of the reasonings. And to be honest, even if you do listen to them, they're all mostly biased anyway, so I don't know why people get upset in the first place. It just doesn't make any sense. This is completely my biased opinion. But, you know, people like to get upset anyway. So there you go. I think I'm going to just leave it at that. Enjoy. My voice actually kind of lasted through, which is nice. So yeah, this is probably going to be uploaded a day after, because this was done on Friday, because it's going to be a long-ass thing. I have to upload it overnight. But yeah, if you're watching this later on YouTube and you enjoyed it, hey, do me a solid and press the thumbs up button, okay? Keeps me motivated to keep doing more of these. We might have maybe one more tier list this year, maybe not, but probably gonna do more gameplay tier lists again next year, because I know you guys like that, and they seem to be popular, so yeah, stay tuned and stay subscribed for stuff like that, and, you know, look forward to more advent calendars and other uploads coming this week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and a peace out.